high, the smoke rise, they ghosts fly, they both died. They throw tied on the goat hide, sacrifice them all to wall. Rain fall, while tears pour, my ears sore, pagans don't hear law. Dead or the old man stumbled from smearing off. Weird cough, appeared lost, brushing his beard off. His lady riffing from a distance, wishing he cared more. Tobacco called bear claw, the back of his hair gone. I'm writing in rare form, throw light in the spear storms like a titan with hair blonde, or Viking in gear bronze. My mic like a magic wand, daggers in palm, Pythagoras songs, the master is calm. Relax, moving his palm, near a pond. Puffing the bomb, cuts in my arm, strong, a couple of charms, a couple of oolong. We smooth when we crush a new song. Purpose, we write verses to his curtains, we gone. Abraxas, Revis, believe it. If I can see it, I'll achieve it. The semis for the dinner when I eat it. The thrones is only two-seated, and you ain't Mike Jack, so beat it. You're like Drac, anemic. Salute. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am. The hypothesis of Herodotus, gods and goddesses, the Eden garden to the apocalypse, religion and politics, arguments between fools and true scholarship. Nowadays, everybody's a narcissist. Schools are targeted, no jewels, names anonymous. Everybody's making claims and say it's consciousness. Land hold to Egypt, hieroglyphics, Bible scriptures, Apocrypha, and the Josephus, the book of Enoch of those who pushed it to knock, and the scrolls of Jesus. Masons things told in secret. The only ones that wear the red robes can keep it. Next to King Solomon, the widow's son, and the deacon. Just speaking, and my flow chastise demons. Give them bad vibes while teaching. 12 from every black tribe is leading, along with 12 rabbis and magi's were leaving. This fiery hell breaking the spells of the heathens. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am.
I am the God inside the sun, I'm Aries, son of Mary's, son of Aries, still on top with none compare me. One of one with none compare me, you won't like me when I'm angry. Terms of beginning someone scary, sun canary, sunken berry. What a query from Tamari, ram the health data for the universe. The sun declared me Taurus, ox, and Taurus sock. Sleepwalking, I fought a fox who told me how to walk through blocks. Torbaculo, daughter, knock, Apocrypha, the laws of Doc, Pentateuch, Pentateuch. I can cause the pen to talk, my body gives it Morris Miles looking through the bullseye. I can see the aura watch, but the all is not. Calendars and tortoise tops, Gemini outthought the clocks. Listen hard to thoughts of rocks. Hitman, lyrical bartender that called the shots of everything they fought to stop. Sympathy unorthodox, picking up the signal from the sigils and the water drops, making calls all wars to stop. New Neo and Bruce Leo, Roy Jonah, Architect 9, need the cathedral. How you hypnotize all of the mind readers is reading you. Most High who made me up from lies that's completely true. Virgos, fur coats, fashioned from the ether zoo. Magic man from deep Peru. Thanagamma, ancient grammar placed in Ambernailum with the Abraham Arabi. Medusa's head turned my hard drive to something floppy. One look I nutted submit, and that seems meant. Typically Illuminati, hit the L like you in hockey. Mr. Superman, Asasi, Planet Rocky, ran with Shakti. Every verse in Ace, never seen me dip the new Versace. Birthday suit and title wear can fashion in the human body. Libra Liberace, weight decisions on the dragon scales, imagine it. I am the jinn, I the mage, am I the ancient book of rhymes? I took my time, no I don't know if I am aging. Zodiac, my skin broke, the spikes inside the Iron Maiden. The great I am at this, punch it like I am a fist for one, so I am you. Let me show how I outran a jet. That I am you let. I am legend, I in heaven. Follow all the planet steps. Knowledge you can't handle.
Thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham.
I am.
Thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham.
I am.
my sacred rights when I write. Who am I to judge? I'm in my pen tonight. I got booked in the pages with blue bars in. I started doing the sentence and finished at the margin. My mind tried to escape, but I'm the correctional garden. Max in the mental state, full of gems while I'm jogging. Using words and terms till I serve my turn. On my brain cells form into a bell's bond. Recording while I'm self-rewarding. Like I spit 3 autumns. When I release a masterpiece, just talking. That's how I get when I'm zoning. Just flowing. I make the listener a prisoner of the moment. The old face was abolished, reshaped and polished. Graduate from college, move to different states. The same people that hate make the dollar. Leonardo da Vinci and cathedral cardinals were busy throughout the cities of Italy. The evil part of the history and mystery replaced the people dark as the pygmy. Eventually, Michelangelo and Bible radicals handed gold by the Pope from that century to cover art immensely, intentionally. To dark ages from arcade, from rock paintings who started language, charts and data, tribal marks invaders, before titles and parts of Asia. The heart was nature, Africa was far ancient. Older periods, stars Sirius over pyramids, walls with cobra images. Rituals were open the mouths of mummies. Or biblical, how to rip a crowd for money. Identical, beneath the clouds of countries. Subliminal, one wears the crown is chubby. While we hungry, they ugly and frowned upon me. Look down on us, but count on us, and I growling tummies. Arrest the devil, read him his rights, Edomites. In the courts of the cross, the Lord's jury seated Christ. And the 2 witnesses since Genesis. Bringing the devil as God prisoner. The job for the minister, persecute him, and drag him to the chair to execute him. He tries to bribe you, stone him with Bibles. Give thanks to the Lord for he is good. A million saints with their swords to the devil's hood. Metal hooves, stand in heaven where I never stood. Only in hell, music and spells. Magic only several could. Before religions, oral traditions, total transitions, Dogons, Egyptians. Both arms are risen, the boat gone and drifting. The throw on depiction, there's more on subscription. Snowstorms on Christians, black magic and sorcery. Mathematics, bad habits, horrors that I see. Dialogue. Giving honor and all glory, thankful and painful during long sufferings, calm when storms hovering, protected by my guardian angels. Their lower and their upper wings are covering, for soul restructuring. I'm like Job recovering, loosen all the knots and the cluttering till I'm filled with coloring. My life's a book with crayons or spray on. Our legs and arms are bronze from the Amazon, lost tribes in Babylon. North skies we sung a song, sweet chariots, then we carried on. Came from the nebula as settlers. We came here to plant grain, then explain the weather. The 10 spirits of the Sephiroths, their attributes and appearance. 10, this is the beginning. The hot ones like the chakra transcendent. Our demeanors in Bina, in its likeness in its image. The nexus died like Ma'at, the astronaut on the ziggurat. Comet rocks past the equinox, cast it on my headdress. The space cadet, that's the message. Then Gavura, like Suma, then Teferi, then the tea beverage. Connect with comedics, genetics and deep merits. Next up is next suck. After is hold in your soul. The Malkut, the Tao book. Weed is Nubian, brown kush. Take away the image you saw, now look. Jacob's vengeance on Esau, his crown took. Before the Platos and the Aristotles. In days of old, those were pharaoh novels. And dialogue, and dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue, and dialogue, dialogue. Come with access from a praxis, every tree is going dialogue. Become paper for my reasoning and dialogue. Rhythmic, big applause to the lion god. Round of 6 melons, break the sounds, can make the giants nod. Mayan god, zodiac clocks made of compliant cogs. Move various medicines from a second crop. Hallucination equations lost in vagina bar. They all bow when I walk into the highest lodge. Climbed out the pupil in the all-seeing iris rods. Vivid third eye massage. Flying pigs high up the hog. While they hoarding, I'm bored of the next astral plane. The wheel turns, but I never seen its axis change. The same script, just the actors in the apple frame. While we giving different roles written just to act the same. And clearly view can master's flame. Who could reenact
act the same, that's a shame. Planets rotating as the math explains. Shed my skin, left a million bodies on the path I came. Killed my former selves and got away, but look what that became. Master brain, God releases science when I ask for rain. Master brain, if you don't have a name, you don't have an aim. In and out this world so many times, still I haven't came. I can see the next me, seen through galactic frames. 7 keys, fed degrees, demons on our path get slain. Royal priesthood, our reputation got them scared to death. Devils caught wind of us approaching, they give up their breath. Treasure keep a century, either season with time spice. I ate a clock and deprecated minutes from my hindsight. I took the 7 vows and went from infinite to finite. He's in the days, but he only entered it to finite. Looking at my chest, now she got interest in the finite. Talisman, tortoise man, the ignorant divine height and body. All the Gnostics knew their wisdom's a divine right. Profound magic of a master at the round tablet. Heaven's wheel meal, not immortal from the ground addict. Holy evidence, open portals in my crown addict. Special spectators took the spirit world and brown back. Why knows like why know is ignorance bliss. But it's all mirage, vanished with one flick of my wrist. Took a picture of my watch like it didn't exist. Photo of my photons from the mystic abyss. Serpents with a hawk face, circus in my thoughts race. Knew my Pegasus would be the quickest at the horse race. Spearhead the mirror fed me visions of the Lord's face. Arab in the abracadabra, hot rockadabra. Zigzag, Zodiac, killer, the next massacre.
Here, the centuries of loneliness were to end.
Your collection of Leonardo da Vinci masterpieces, Mr. Flint.
They appear to have been recently painted.
On contemporary canvas with contemporary materials.
Then, age, death, the taste of dust. Do you understand?
You wanted a perfect, ultimate woman. As brilliant, as immortal as yourself. Your mate for all time.
Merkaba master, I charter demons to other worlds, drive devils to plaster, rush them to hell, breathing asthma, place Satan on gurneys next to Hermes, send them off to their journey to Cleopatra. They read those chapters, egos captured, the Leo laughter, neoplasma, run through my veins in this matrix, and my basement became a plaza, and now I'm in the Sky Lounge with negative spirit hackers, build on math and we read the chapters, observe through our windows at the quiet disasters, riots at NASA, marches, gender pride, freedom rights for the masses, till we do away with first and second citizen classes. Religion is backwards, trying to comprehend to the pastor. This gym is like Jasper. Either we all live and strive for the youth to survive, or it all ends with the rapture. Forget waiting on the man, I'm making a plan. And for the ages of false statements, I'm taking a stand. Start an investigation on Satan with a cross in my hand. Make him plead guilty, now face the jury. We're in the courts of I am. If I could just vanish from off the planet, like magic, become caught from granite. Days, mathematics is understanding.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Oh, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
A billion stories in the naked city. Ghost told me that his best friend needs a kidney. We froze, reminiscing Tiffany in the cold, over whiskey from the 20s, in the memory, sympathy, made the angels play a symphony, said he could've had a scholarship, toured different colleges, now he's out of it, faded away slowly on dialysis, his name remained anonymous. But here's my acknowledgements. Street legends and hood guards. Kingdom fall into a mirage. Ghetto depression sets in. Then we place weed and cigars. A child has difficulties concentrating. From where he lives, he sees his promises fading. He sees his pops gone, his mom's is aging. She trying to stay strong for a church congregation. And meanwhile, a kid named Rico was the coke king. A lot of siblings of the dope fiends hope you scream. A lot of children with broken dreams, homes were clean. The most extreme, you got rich and what you sold to queens. Look what you did to Josephine. And Ebony is unheavenly. The devil's ready with open wings. As Lucifer uses love and his youthful mug. Then his blood on the cobra's fangs.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
Through the mid.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. It is Woo Wednesday, it's Wind Down Wednesday, it's the second Wednesday in Gemini season. Okay, we here in the building. Got some special things going on. Shout out to the family that's coming in. We see y'all, see everybody up in here in the building. Your brother Knowledge One Lies here. Wind Down Wednesday, hosted by the Iron Software Hip Hop, the one and only Killah Priest. Tell somebody we are here. Got some special guests that's going to be joining us here shortly. So we got some things planned. So again, tell somebody we on live here. So it's been epic. You understand? Shout out to I ain't gonna start with that. I'm not gonna start with that. It's the second Wednesday in Gemini season. Shout out to the Gemini Royals as they pulling up in here. Do some birthday shout outs real quick. Happy born day to the one of the ones who changed the world after the martyrdom of her husband. One who is profound, one who is a divine ancestral mother spirit to me and to many of us. I speak of none other than Dr. Betty Shabazz. Her born day is today. Honest to her, honest to her husband, honest to her lineage, honest to her royal family. So Malcolm was on May 19th. Hers is today. So honors and love to Dr. Betty Shabazz in the ancestral space. And as we move into today, one of the illest party MCs, man, to ever move the party and to break something down lyrically, man. This one day is today, the one and only Chubb Rock. You understand what I'm saying? So treat him right. You know what I'm saying? Put on some Chubb Rock today and rock with Chubb Rock. Chubb Rock, his born day is today. The master of numeration, his born day is today. I speak of none other than the one, the only, the hypest man alive. Okay, King Simon, his born day is today too. So we in good company today on the 28th of May. You understand what I'm saying? We are in good company today with these masterminds working as well. So yeah, it's definitely a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So be glad you're in the presence of some gems. All right, some gems. And let's not leave out one of the greatest vocalists to ever pick up a microphone and sing. Let's give it up for Gladys Knight. Her birthday is today as well. And Shout out to the fam, man. Shout out to the Gemini Royals. We celebrating all Gemini season. Okay, so this particular broadcast is dedicated to that duality energy. You know what I'm saying? Duality energy, and we happy to be here. So see what we got going on in here. Jazzy J is something for the culture podcast. Season 8 has been phenomenal. I heard it on here last wind down. Okay, getting busy. We had a time. We had a time. You know, we had the time. We celebrating, we elevating, and we building. So yeah, couple of things I want to touch on today. You know, we getting into the Gemini season, play more Killer Priest segment. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. We'll add that in today. So we're gonna do it, you know, Gemini style. But before we get to that, I want to talk about a couple of movies. So a couple of movies that have been shaking up the nation here. Let me get it together really quick. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Alex, man. Play more Killer Priest, man. Play more Killer Priest, buy more Killer Priest, and drink more to Killer Priest. That's the answer. All right. Shout out to Bragadino and the family in the building. All right. I'm gonna tell, you know, my commentary on in the sports arena. I'm leaving it off the table today. Right? I'm leaving it off the table today. You know, root for whoever you want to root for. So let me get this together. What was I looking for? All right, see this here. Bam, bam. All right, y'all give me 1 second here while I get this together. Up in here, up in here. All right. Bam. First movie. Put a 2 in the chat if you've seen this movie. If you haven't seen the movie, you can go see the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, you should go see the movie. And if you have seen the movie, let me know your thoughts on the movie. But put a number 2 in the chat if you've seen this sensation that is sweeping across the nation. Okay? Let's see. Roman. Jazzy J, something for the culture. She watched it. We did an excellent discussion on energy vampires on both of our broadcasts. In that sense, energetic vampires definitely dope. Definitely dope. So if y'all seen this movie, let me know something. All right, let me know something for the 2 in the chat. So this is directed by Ryan Coogler, released a few weeks ago, and it's really been shaking up. I done seen more breakdowns than I care to see, okay, in regards to this film. It's a wild joint. So shout out to Ryan Coogler for redefining visual storytelling. This was gritty, spiritual, layered, and it's a bunch of other things there. So if you're thinking about this film, think about redemption, think about morality, think about karmic death. And it's not a hero villain sort of thing. It's not a hero villain sort of thing. But it speaks of the duality of self, right? It speaks of the duality of self. It deals with things from a twin perspective. So shout out to the twins, man. If you are a twin in real life, fraternal or identical, or you are spiritual or emotional, whatever level of twin that you want, you're dealing with the twin energy, right? So this is the Descendants film. It's all our facts. Let me put this on the joint real quick. Let me just interrupt real quick. What do you think about Trump's useless partner, Larry Hoover's fed charges, but still serving 20 years on state charges? People actually think he's free. I mean, that's a beautiful observation, right? And it's perfect for what we're discussing right now in regards to duality, right? On one level, you might think this happened, and on another level, something else has actually happened. So the fact that they talking about this dualism and Trump is a Gemini, unfortunately and unfortunately, right? You know, we gotta take that L and that dub at the same time. You understand? So you got both of those things there together to show the dualism, the higher and the lower self. So at one level, you might be exonerated, and at another level, you might be caught up. So let's apply that to self. What are some of the things that you are looking, or you have freed yourself from, but also found yourself still falling victim to? Let's apply the sciences to self. So there are certain things that I've overcome, and yet there's still things that I might fall victim to. So when you look at a man who redeemed himself, he was a young man. He was a young man, and he was taken off the streets and, you know, serving these sentences. And he took something that went from one aspect, which was gangster disciple, to another aspect, which was growth and development. And it served a purpose on one level, community protection, and then another level that served as another sort of space. So dualism is all in there. So now, as a redeeming sort of space, there's another aspect that speaks to growth and development. So now, these tribes that might have been notorious for one thing or another had a space of a redemptive force in regards to that. Now there's a responsibility to the community. Now there's a responsibility to your neighborhood. Now there's a responsibility to the people. So it exists in the space of duality, and perception becomes something. You know, the media paints this picture of crucifying folks in the court of public opinion. They live for that. So they live for this moment. So dualistically, they look to defame two people in this aspect: the president and who they deem public enemy number one. So there's an artful tool that's being utilized to look at that. So even with a term like this that's on the screen, this movie Sinners, right? Sinners, what do you equate with that in your mind? Somebody evil, you know, someone imperfect, all of those aspects. So if you dwell in that realm, then you dwell in that realm like this. So somebody is made to look like the sinner, and somebody's made to look like the saint. So when you look in the realm of dualism, you know, Ryan Coogler being the Gemini, showing these aspects. These are all aspects in regards to what exists within you, what exists within your mind, what exists within your heart, what exists within your reality. Who has the ability to deem you a sinner? Well, they can call you a sinner, then they can call you a saint. The same people have the power and authority to determine saint or sinner. How do you see yourself is important. How do you see yourself? That's important. So with this dualism sort of faction in regards to, you know, what's being said and what's happening, we have opportunity to be able to look at ourselves from a dualistic perspective. And as I say, dualistic perspective, my twin brother popped up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, uh, like my twin brother. Nah, we cousins. You understand what I'm saying? So let's give it up for King Allah, affectionately known in these Podcraft streets as Mr. Blue Tang himself, aka Crip Jesus.
Amen. Peace to the God.
Hey.
Knowledge born out loud.
Peace, God. How you be, God?
Oh man, I'm out here doing my promo. You feel me?
Yeah.
I got posters, stickers, all that. We finna light, we finna light the world up, baby. Blue
light
Tang,
it up, light it up, light it up.
I got the t-shirt on. You feel me? Look,
that's it.
We ain't playing.
Word.
Yeah. But that's all I've been on, God. Just day and night, trying to get the awareness out there. I find it no coincidence that, this is the I look at Killah Priest as like, even though he was there from the beginning as Lord Messiah, I always look at him as like the final chapter, you know what I mean? And even how they say Wu-Tang is for the babies, and he come with the most spiritual, the best nutrients. So for it to be the time and space of the final tour, I didn't know that when I was, we was putting together the Royal Priesthood, the story. So I just look at it as all, confirmation that, we're doing the right thing, especially with you on board. You always been my greatest love and critic. So you've been giving me all good. You've been giving me all good reviews. I'm feeling good as a motherfucker right there.
That's what it is. Did you check out this movie?
No, I ain't seen it yet, man. Everybody
ain't seen it yet. Okay, that's what it is. Saying I mean, it's going to age well, depending on where you are within yourself. You understand? Mm-hmm. It ain't nothing but time. Let me see this real quick. Before I put up this comment real quick, I was just building on, the Larry Hoover situation, and so I know.
Yeah, man, they free Larry
Bible,
Hoover, man.
Touch on. So, symbolic, commuted the sentence on one level, still have to face these charges at the state level, about like 200 years type of situation.
Yeah, I thought
you know what I'm saying?
I thought he was getting out. All right. The first
step, though. You could add on in the space of, seeing the movements, you know what I mean? Growth and development, and how you see it and how you draw it up in the 5 Mr. With the Naked Alcoholic Tech in the Blue Bible. You understand what I'm saying? With him and Tuki and, different, folks over the years. You see what I'm saying? In regards to the tribes. You see what I'm saying? Like going from one direction to the next. So let's let you add on, God.
Well, I know from my understanding and my knowledge of him, Larry Hoover's been incarcerated before I was born, and then he was charged again when I was barely growing up. So from what I was able to gather, like in the streets, and just, from what I know of the different organizations, he was responsible for putting together the Folks Nation. Now, this was an act of unification. And what he couldn't control is the fact that these people, he's unifying these people, and they're in the streets, they're in together, they're in the trenches. So what they use it for, he's not responsible for. He's laying down. It's almost like, I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want to get nothing, but any organization can have people in it. Like we would say the Masons. If you look at the script, it doesn't say we are the Masons and we are here to destroy. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's the group of people that took this information and used it and twisted it up and made it a coded language for destruction. You feel what I'm saying? And you just made your self-style wisdom. You know what I mean? It's on, when it says he uses his name to shield his dirty religion. They use the name of Jesus. They use the name of Muhammad. They use the name of like me, I use the name of Crip. I do the opposite. I use the name of Crip, the dirty religion, to shield when I'm walking in amongst the dirty and force them to learn to clean. I'm shielding the Islam and showing, then they get in, what the hell? I'm learning Islam. What happened? You know what I'm saying? So basically, the way I feel about it is that, from my understanding, when I did my full in-depth investigation, he was able to use the organization he was responsible for, not GD, because even GD was a unification of Supreme Gangsters and David's Disciples. but he was responsible for putting together the Folks Nation, if I'm not mistaken, in the 90s. That's what they gave him the life for. Basically, they took everybody who was unified under that umbrella that did crime and said, oh yeah, he's responsible. He's telling them to do crime. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, you know, you have a agenda going on. You have a war on drugs going on all over the country that started in Queens, and they used all these different factors, and they used the reality factors too. It was the trenches and the ghettos. It was real bad in the 90s, but you know, I have found nothing to prove that Larry Hoover was saying, yeah, go sell drugs, yeah, go shoot up the community, yeah, you know what I mean? Those things were going on, and if anything, these were usually like the big dogs in the community that tried to stop those things, that gave some rule and regulation, and you know, even if required justice, you know, for the situations at hand. But you know, the stories get misconstrued and tied up. Even like with Jeff Fort, you know, he unified 21 gangs. They called them Angel. They take that now and make it like he led 21 groups of destruction. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like how they word it, you know, and with all the fake, you know, gangsterism going on with the podcasts and the music and all of that now, it's easy to get people who use these people's name to bolster up their own claims and use it and paint it like they're mob boss. It's just tricky with the media now because a lot of these dudes are getting paid to not only paint themselves as false gangsters, but to paint these people as false gangsters. Feel me?
Agreed. I mean, you can assassinate the character. Once you assassinate the character, that used to be the modus operandi. You know what I mean? You assassinate the character and nobody's paying attention. So when you take them out, then you know it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? You like, oh, yeah. They deserved it. They was worthy of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Like the tape. They didn't release the Cassie tapes. They knew they was going to run up on them and arrest them. They wanted your public opinion to still be cool before that. They said, oh, we're about to go arrest them. Let's make the public opinion bad.
Yeah, crucifying in the court of public opinion, but just even in the mind. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Black Wall Street, if we looked at Black Wall Street, those guys, similar to these guys in this movie right here, the character that they use, they're World War I vets. You know what I'm saying? They're World War I vets that went to Chicago from Mississippi and, you know, started a rift between the Irish mob and the Italian mob.
Mm-hmm.
So Capone and them army going back and forth, and they bounced with money, you know, they bounced with all kinds of stuff and brought it back down south. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they went in there and made an instant orientation. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's so slick. Like without, you know, going into too much detail, they was able to make it through a world war and the Civil War and make it back down south. You know what I'm saying? To be able to go do what they needed to do, blah, blah, blah. Right? So all that needed to happen was a whisper, right? Al-Qanas, you see what I'm saying? You look at the 114 ayat in Quran. Al-Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Al-Qanas is the whisperer. Nas said Satan is alive and he whispers. You know what I'm saying? So all that need to be said is a little bit of what? Dissatisfaction. So trade them into orientation saying they will receive more gold for their labor, more than they were earning in their own country. The opportune word is more. Now, you as a more, there's dualism that exists right there, right? So more could either denote righteousness or dissatisfaction. So truth or dissatisfaction, as you know, I always say, either makes devil or borns God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you do in that space of dissatisfaction? So this sinner's type of personification is something that we know in regards to Christendom. You see what I'm saying? Like so there are all sorts of connections that can be made, interwoven. So if one place, if you wasn't a Muslim, you could be held in captivity. If you wasn't a Christian in some places, you could be held in captivity. You could be bought and you could be sold. You understand what I'm saying? In some places, if you was a Jew, was a Gentile or identified as a Gentile, it didn't matter what happened to you. You see what I'm saying? What they called as a goyim. You know what I mean? So there's so many significances that's there. If you look here, in this place that is termed the Mexim. You know what I mean? Like if you look at them step pyramids that Killah Priest and Solo Gems was at, you start looking through South and Central America, they painted you a color.
Yeah.
If you was worthy of a sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? Like so all of these things go along with this this pantheon of discussion in regards to identifying, right? So, the media painted Rayful Edmonds, Chucky Williams, and so many of other people that came before us in a negative light, so we would divorce ourselves from them.
Yeah.
So
or if we choose to emulate them, we're emulating foolishness that they taught us. You know what I mean?
We're emulating something that's already set up, right? You see what I'm saying?
So okay, let's make this version of them.
Right. We make this version and then we're gonna roll with that. So, I got Malcolm X on my hoodie, you understand what I'm saying? So folks will be like, oh, I identify more with Detroit Red than Malcolm X. So there are more people that would choose this, that would choose Detroit Red versus who this man was. You know what I'm saying? So, they might call him King Red in some places. You understand? So it just depends on where you at and what's in your literature. You know what I mean? So the dualism that you have to face in regards to that. You said priest, Lord Messiah. You know what I'm saying? That's the Father and the Son. You see him as Solo. You understand what I'm saying? That's Leo. Like it's literally, it just depends on how you are acculturated to it. Father and the Son, Son and the Father. I am the way, the truth, and light. No man shall get to the Father except by me. And he's the Father. The Father and I are one. When you see me, you see the Father. The Father is in the Son, and the Son is in the Father. Lord, Messiah. For God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten Son. You know what I'm saying? The only begotten of the Father. Like all of those things have intersectionality in regards to this dualism. So in some instances, Christ or Yeshua is the Messiah. Some folks accept that. Some other folks, they don't accept that. They're like, nah, the Messiah ain't come yet. You understand what I'm saying? So again, back to the dualism. In the revolutionary space, they say one man's revolutionary is another man's freedom fighter. I mean, one man's terrorist, another man's freedom fighter. You know what I'm saying? So one man's over here is terrorist, the other way over here, freedom fighter. So that dualism that brings it to a head. And this is where Gemini has you in your mind before Cancer has you in your feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's preparation. You know what I mean? It's preparation. One becomes John the Baptist and the other one becomes the Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the Christ figure. Add on, God.
No, that's a fact. Because what happens then is with the dualism, if you don't understand it and give it this equality, then you just automatically see black and white, left, right, up, down. You don't get the understanding. You feel what I'm saying? Your knowledge can be wisdom, you can reflect on it, but without the understanding, you'll never get the balance. So what happens is dualism becomes like, you see the guys who's like, yeah, we know who the devil is, and that's it. Like it ain't no lower self. Like the devil came up out our lower genes. So then it's like anything I do is right because I'm the God. Anything they do is wrong because they're the devil, as opposed to understanding the dualism and all. Even in the devil has a God side. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand the dualism and everything, it brings you kind of more into sanity. I think, and before you can understand, before you get to that equality, no matter what no matter how much power you have, you know what I mean? This is when you see dudes who may be wealthy and successful, but have horrible relationships with their family, right? It's like without that equality, you don't really understand the dualism, and not just everybody else, but even yourself. You feel me?
Right.
You know, you got to be aware of even the dualism in yourself to deal evenly with people, you know. Because without that, you know, even something as simple as holding conversations and being overly stimulating and just overly loud and all in someone's faces, like, you know what I mean? You may just be being friendly. You're violating their space because you're not using the measurement to really rule right. Feel me, God. But no, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this movie. I for sure want to check it out. At first, I wasn't giving a damn about it. I didn't even know where it came from. I was like, Sinners, what is that? I ain't even hear no advertisement. It's out already. You got to see it. It's great. I'm like, okay. I don't know. What was the last one everybody was talking about that I saw? Oh, they cloned Tyrone. That was good.
Oh, yeah.
I heard you got a twin or something. What's it about? Can you run about
me? It's Yakub, guy.
But
you already know the site. Oh, you talking about they clone Tyrone or
no? I'm saying Sinners.
Yeah, I mean it's everything you just said. You know what I'm saying? Like you seen it without seeing. You didn't have to see it to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, a lot seen and heard everywhere. You know what I mean? So that was basically what I was talking about. You know, these two brothers, they left Mississippi, and you know, to go take over the world. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
After they came back from war, they was like, "Nah, we're going to Chicago." So we went to Chicago, and you know, they started working the real criminals, right? See, they don't. They call it organized crime and blah blah blah. They, you know, this fraternity, they take oaths and all this stuff we be ascribing to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they do this in real life. They, you know what I mean? They call themselves like Costa Nostra, or you know, they talk about this thing hours, and they move like a mafia. You see what I'm saying? They underground, you know, take care of their overground. So
yeah,
this just regular life for them. You know, they call it, you know, mass. You go to mass. You understand what I'm saying? They either you go to mass or you get massacred. You understand what I'm saying? So they'll tell you about the St. Valentine's Day massacre, right? And you don't equate that. You know what I mean? Like they put all that stuff together. You know, weapons of mass destruction, mass confusion, all these things happening. So these seeds that they sowed in regards to discontent caused a war. They plotted out a war between two competing factions. You know, the Irish and the Italian, right? Who not deemed quote unquote white, right, at the time. So this is happening October, like the story is told between October 15th, 1932 and October 16th. So literally 24-hour day span. And then they fast forward up 60 years later to October 16th, 1992. So the essence of it is the survivor of this whole night, like the quote unquote sole survivor of this whole night, is recounting his experience as an old man who about to pass away in his bar to his bartender. You know what I mean? And you sound like a crazy old man until, you know, one of these cats that he was talking about showed up in the bar. Unaged, 60 years later. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay. I thought you was bugging, old man. You know what I mean? So, and if you look at that in that context, then, you know, you can understand how the movie or the story is being told. So, yeah.
I heard Michael B. Jordan is playing like himself as a twin or something like that.
Yeah, he's playing two roles. He's playing two roles. You know, or showing two aspects of himself out there. You know, he's an Aquarius. He got the ability to shape shift, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, they in this, movie, and this is his recollection. The guy who's kind of hidden off to the side, like he's like the afterthought. Everybody looks at the movie and sees the twins, but nobody is paying attention to who's actually telling the story. So their younger cousin Samuel, right, is telling the story from his perspective as an old man. And he's recalling the events. This was like the greatest night of his life and the worst night. He went from the greatest day of his life to the worst night of his life, and something he could never ever forget. You know what I mean? So he just been carrying it for 60 years.
Okay.
So he's
sharing
it.
What the story in the movie is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm bugged out listening to that, and watching it, and I know people have been talking about it. So I want to get this picture up here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's so special, but is it like a horror movie or something? Like
it's all kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like it ain't really. I wouldn't go as far as to say horror. Yeah. But it's in the horror genre. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in the horror genre now. They call Get Out a comedy, right?
No.
They did, Jake. Word is mine. Like they called it a comedy drama. Right. So, black people being harvested and kidnapped and reinserted by liberals is a comedy. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so tell me what a black life worth. A bottle of juice is no excuse. The truth hurt. You know what I'm saying? Tupac still talking from beyond.
Big facts.
I know we think it's heaven sent, but we ain't ready to see a black president. Like we still like, come on, man. Like he was on a little bit right there. You know what I'm saying? So
to my Pac, I know it seemed heaven sent. We're not ready to see a black president.
Yeah. The penitentiary is packed and it's filled with blacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's literally a bunch of these things happening out here. And, a young man said it. So, this movie sentence is, dealing with an old man in dotage, about his life as a young man, before his rise as a blues musician, like his up and comings, centered around 2 days that changed his life forever.
2 days that changed his life forever.
Forever. That's it.
Okay. You do have your days, that change your life forever. You do have those days, you know what I'm saying? You do have those days. It don't always got to be negative and drama, though, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What about graduations? That's what those are, days that you kind of set a goal, you finally reach it, and you celebrate, and it changes your life forever, on a positive note. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Now,
wholeheartedly.
I ain't seen it, but I would imagine it's something like, a big old adventure, bunch of chaos, and, things have never been the same, that type of way, But, I know it's about those type of events in your life. They're never really something you woke up and planned. They almost seem to be written into your script of how your life's going to be.
It's all there once you look at it. Like all of it's available. I'm trying to find this thing. It ain't. I'll just save it again. Give me one second.
You know the picture?
Yeah, because it's important. It ties into exactly what we're saying.
Okay. With the title, Twin Flames, huh? Knowledge born, Allah, King El Allah, the twin flames.
That's it. That's it.
The Nag Hammadi God bodies in the building. You know what I'm saying?
God bodies.
How you feel about that, guys? Now let's talk about that. How you feel about that word? Because that word seemed to be very controversial, and it seemed to be this is the year that the controversy popped back up. You seen King Son and them? They on his head about this. What's going on, man?
About what?
God body. They saying that's not us. That's not the 5% term. That's the prison term. Ooh, even playing the Asian check me. I said, nigga, we got the song together. He said, I ain't. You know, he wasn't there when I did the hook. He said, I don't. He said, I see when we put it down. He said, I ain't tripping like that. But he just wanted to give me this big ass speech. I'm like, man, what's up with this? You know,
everybody is drawing lines in the sand. You know, we went through every kind of thing. We went through every kind of thing, right? So honest to one of my Babas, the founder of the Last Poets, Baba Abiodun Oyewale.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Poets was formed a year after Hajj Shabazz brother Wali was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
And Abiodun and the Last Poets, we were all in Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Dallas at the Pan African Connections bookstore. I just happened to be there that night, and we walked in to joint, and Abiodun was there that night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's there, and charged up. You see what I'm saying? When the revolution comes, that's his. Biggie used it, for party and bullshit. Just the last part, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he spoke about that night, and I'll share that in a second. But that night, he said, "Your enemy doesn't divide and conquer. He conquers the divided."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're divided, you're easily conquered. You're easily conquered with that. So when you look at how you're styled, right, or how someone refers to you, Hajj Shabazz brother Wali, affectionately known to the world as Malcolm X, he used the term Black Muslim movement. You know what I'm saying? He used the term Black Muslim movement because the press, the Associated Press, was calling it the Black Muslim movement, the radical Black Muslims. You understand what I'm saying? So they were using this terminology as a misnomer or a colloquial term. You see what I'm saying? To seed in your mind, when you think about this movement, you think about that that reference right there in the negative, that the hate produced, right? So we're looking at a history in America that's very tumultuous, and we went through all of those variations. We went through all of the variations. If you look at the Israelis, right? You deal with the Black Jewish pantheon.
Yeah.
The Jews from Ethiopia, right? Going into Israeli territory, quote unquote. And they're talking about these people right here. Then you start talking about we the Black Jews, right? That's another thing. So the Black Jews go from the Black Jews to the Israelites, right? And then they go into the African Israelites. Then they become the Hebrew Israelites. Then the Black Hebrew Israelites. These are all terms that are utilized to associate something that folks are righteously doing with wickedness. You see what I'm saying? So when you think about it now and you associate it with these sorts of adjectives, now it becomes something that people abhor or they hate. You know what I mean? So when Wolff left the Nation of Islam, and he started.
I didn't say he left it. He ended it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all these things go in regards to how folks are telling oral traditions about times that they didn't exist in. You understand what I'm saying? And either they got firsthand or secondhand knowledge. So they got it from somebody who was in the organization or somebody who was affected by the organization. And all of these things are subjected to how they feel, right? So now, Wolff Muhammad left and he started his own movement, right? And he was inviting people back to quote unquote al-Islam, right? So he rejected the notion of the thing that gave him life and prominence, right? So they call him an apostate for that. So he starts his own movement, and his movement flourishes by the millions. You understand? So but his connection to the Nation of Islam is severed, right? By the members. A lot of father left the nation, right?
Exactly.
Folks said he was kicked out, blah blah blah. He started his own movement, right? Right. So again, it just depends on who's telling the story at the time, right? So now this thing happens, and he comes and he has the sons of Allah, right? So it progresses through different name changes, quote unquote, all of that. So it's a tug of war about what you want to be called, how you want to be called, whatever it is.
No. Look. They're saying now. Let me not say they, but this is what I've heard 3 times. King's son. Who else said this? They're saying you have Allah's 5%. I've heard this in person too. You have Allah's 5%. That's the official. Then you got what they call the NGE, Nation of Gods and Earths. And then you got a whole nother group. They call it like anybody that's street oriented or that's whatever. I don't know. That's God body, right? It's like they try to make it like 3 things. But here's my problem with trying to make it.
It's 4 things, God. It's they had.
Let me just add this in there before there you go. But here's my problem with any of them things. If you ain't 120, you ain't checked it into school. I don't care what you call yourself. Shut up. Go ahead.
So you got that on one side. We still dealing with dualism. It don't go away. You said that, and Freedom Allah, rest in peace, said 120 don't make a man God.
Facts.
You understand? So if this is the qualification over here that we're going by, why is he saying this? You understand what I'm saying? But they're not going to defame him. They're going to defame King's son or seek to defame him based off of his affiliation with some of these other people, the folks that he said that he studied with. So there's a wedge right there. There's a wedge between that don't necessarily exist, but it does come from a time that it does exist. That's real. That's a real thing. There was real situations and strife and beef and fights and all kinds of things that escalated based out of that. You understand what I'm saying? So what that means to some people is depending on their allegiance to what their memories of it is. You know what I mean? So if folks said, nah, we the sons of Allah, we the daughters of Allah, and that's what the father said, quote unquote, that should be that, right? So if they said he said it, then you have to have some proof now that he said any of those things. That he said, we the sons of y'all, the sons of Allah, the family, the daughters of Allah, we Allah's 5%, or we the nation of God's. However it goes, all of that is indiscriminate, right? So what's the qualifications that make one God?
Now you gotta show and prove. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying as far as with the common thread between all those,
you can teach anybody on the planet of 120 degrees. Does that make them God?
But we talking culture right now. I'm saying the culture.
Yeah, we are talking culture.
No, you don't gotta come up with. Hold on. Those different groups we named, the common denominator between them is the 120. That's all I'm saying. Like the language, the supreme mathematics, the supreme alphabet. These are the coded and passed down things that draw us together. I don't even like saying it like that. But if these different, I have met these people. I can't deny it. I've met somebody that told me, "Oh, you NGE, I'm a lost 5%." Like, okay, cool, brother. That's like whatever you want to call it. Like, do you got 120 though? No, okay, get out my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the dude comes. Oh, doesn't matter if you got 120. I'm not gonna play all that. No, yes, it do.
See,
and we own you. And smashing you. What happened to giving out universal without knowing 120? No, like, wait, come on, bro. I'm not even pushing that hard, so it's like I don't get it.
All of that works all together based off of non-culture, not culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's tradition.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't culture. You understand what I'm saying? Culture, if culture, if refinement don't belong with power, because 120 degrees, if it's cultural refinement, where's the refinement of the culture? Where's the refinement? So when we start going from levels of ascension, I can show and prove that in no limited time. So if you're not a savage in pursuit of happiness, this culture is supposed to refine you from the inside out. How is it refining you? If you can't recognize also civilized persons, Muslims and Muslim sons, as qualification of who the 5% is on the poor part of the planet Earth. We know who God is. We know who devil is. Who are the 5% on the poor part of the planet Earth? Right. Now, these are other qualifications. Who are the 85% on the planet Earth? Who are the 10% on the poor part of the planet Earth? And who are the 5% on the poor part of the planet Earth? So we are, if we're not wasting no time looking for no mystery God, why are we looking for these other things? Why are we dealing in the poor part? If we're supposed to keep the best part reserved for ourselves. This is always the poor part that destroys nations. I told you Satan is alive and he whispers. All it has to be is something, a whisper.
And you said he conquers the divided. Words
yes. So this becomes the case right here. Conquers the divided. So I'm dealing in division. What's the point of peace? What's the point of salam? What's the point of shalom? What's the point of the term? You really should just say war. Because you coming looking for war. You ain't coming for no peace. You ain't coming in peace. So again, there's no evidence in no refinement. This coach is not refining you from the inside out. So you telling me that there ain't no refinement in over here in regards to power. So how is the culture refining you? Are you a savage in the pursuit of happiness? Are you using a lot to shield your dirty religion? You understand what I'm saying? So are you caught up in the poor part? Can you rise above 6? All of these things that we're espousing in that manner. Who's that? How can you not recognize? Also civilized persons. Who's a civilized person? Where can you find a civilized person? You understand what I'm saying? Wherever the civilizer is, this is where you will find civilization. What's the meaning of civilization? What was the purpose of going through all of these things that you could teach a parrot, that you could teach a monkey, right? Also Muslims and Muslim sons. Who are Muslim sons? You understand? We know who Muslim sons are. We know who Muslims are. We all know who a civilized persons are. What's the reason for them? If these are the qualifiers, then that means they could also be the disqualifiers.
Exactly.
Because if you get caught up in the poor part of it, you'll start playing. Why do we make the devil study for 35 to 50 years? Why shouldn't your ass be studying for 35 to 50 years?
Come on.
You go through this process of refinement in your culture. If this is your culture, if this is your way of life, where's the refinement in your life? From your culture. So to show forth and prove your power that you can put the devil into existence and have him reign for 6,000 years and destroy him in a day without falling victim to the devil's what? Civilization. So that means the devil got civilization too. So what's the difference? So who's civilizing the person? God or the devil, G?
And see that, and that's the point right there, where we don't even, where you get so caught up in it, you're not living it out and civilizing. That's what that all boils down to.
But the devil got they civilization civilized.
Well, no, their civilization ended. That's why you see them running around so wild now. See, a lot of people, I've seen guys, not break that down right. We talk about, we still got license plates to move around, not realizing, like you said, civilizations want to have a knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and pursuit of happiness. So this civilization they was forced to stand on when the Turks was there, I got that from Message the Black Man. You feel what I'm saying? So he shows how ever since that after World War I, they've been like just basically running rapid. You know what I mean? They see their civilization to the point now where they got what, Satanism, after school programs, shit like that.
Right.
Feel me? But peace to the God though, man. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the devil has civilization. So if you're not even meeting the requirements that we require the 6 to be, then you're not reaching the 7 at all. Because we required the devil to study from 35 to 50 years because we were studying all our life. We were studying before we were born in the womb. Feel me?
Yeah.
Where's Bond?
Yeah, so all of that, I don't get caught up in none of that. I mean, that stuff is, but before I was born, you know what I mean. In my father's time, it was always something. In his father's time, it was something. In his father's time, it was something.
Yeah,
it's for time immemorial when we are not a group of people who come together for one common cause. So, yeah, I don't acknowledge none of that foolishness out here.
No, I embrace all the terms. It doesn't make you know what I mean. It doesn't make me no difference. It's just they're all just adjectives to describe. You know what I mean? Those who fit that same history. See, that's my thing. What is the common denominator? It still goes back to the Father Allah, leaving the temple, bringing 120 to the streets. These are the foundation, regardless of where it goes. And it's supposed to go somewhere, unless it was a dead nation and never grew. Right? Each branch, a tree has
it went everywhere.
Yeah, a tree has a root, it has a base, it has a shaft, it has branches, it has the stems that come off the branches with the leaves. You understand what I'm saying? So this is how something works when it grows. When it doesn't grow, you can't name me anything that grew that if I'm we're Rome. When Rome was in Egypt, you know what I'm saying, it had that name. It takes on its different titles, different as it grows. Right. It takes on its different cultures. So the different self-styles and wisdoms that you see throughout the country when you travel and meet the different guys, I always looked at it as based on, we real big on history. So I can go to guys and love Allah and be like, okay, where we get our self-style and wisdom from? Or, you know what I mean? Just Life came, then Virtuous was teaching him. He came from Medina. Oh, okay. That's why we say this like that. Oh, he's the one that brought this. Oh, okay. My king started talking like this and brought that. Oh, this guy starts the rallies. You feel what I'm saying? When you can trace it back, it's no longer talking about it's fake. This is when you get someone trying to, you get what I'm saying, mold it to be a standard. That's not reality. If that's the reality, our stance doesn't even make sense because we prove that as proven through our own self-style and wisdom that we are the development and the fulfillment of. Right. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
So you can't heal what you don't reveal. Come on now.
So let me add.
What you over there doing? Reading the comments, guy? What's going on?
No, you read the comments. I ain't reading the comments.
I'm chilling.
Yeah. I see you, God. I see you, God. You were swift with it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't give that. I don't give dead things life. You understand what I'm saying? I don't give it life. I don't acknowledge none of that. I acknowledge what's true and what's living. I don't care nothing about none of that other stuff. So let me bring in Baltimore's own, man. You understand what I'm saying? The lyrical Leviathan up in the building. You understand what I'm saying? Fresh off the battlefield right now. You understand what I'm saying? Fresh off the battlefield. DBL's own, man. Lyrical Leviathan in the building.
Lyrical Leviathan.
Yo, peace, God. Peace.
You're the first person I met with a super extra out name who really lived up to it, like right after, you know. Usually niggas be like, man, you came with that super ass name. He was cool.
Yeah, we used to joke about that all the time. Like, you can't have no crazy name and not be nice. Like, Lyrical Leviathan, and you just like spit some whack shit like that. Just we excommunicated. But yeah, I'm in Baltimore right now. I'm right in historic Pennsylvania Avenue. Over here in the hood. We ain't even go on stage yet. Everything is running on nigga time right now, but
yeah,
we out here.
Oh, you about to perform?
Yeah, we about to go on stage in a little bit. Prince Mac here. I'm in Moonchild, super late.
Yeah, man.
I'm what's up? In front of this mural right here. One of these fresh murals called The Elements. It's
that's fly right there. What you about to drop on them?
They got the purple tape on the wall and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we about to Prince Mac is featuring. We about to hit him with some of these joints with this live band at the historic Capitol Lounge right on Penn Ave.
Okay.
Down here where back in the day, you know, everybody, Billie Holiday and Louis Armstrong, John Coltrane. In fact, one of John Coltrane's last performances was right on this street back here. This was like all the jazz musicians used to come through this very block. Now a whole lot
history right there. Real history right there. You feel what I'm saying? Who would you say is like some of the hottest people coming out that DMV area? I think a lot of people be sleeping, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you know, not to heat my own nachos, but you know, DBL, you know, the squad, we definitely down for the Baltimore Boom Bap.
Okay.
We got a lot of people who are part of our circle and our sphere who definitely hold it down with us and for us, like Ill Conscious. Definitely.
Okay. I like that name.
Lyricism from
super legend.
You got to talk about Ill Conscience and Dirt Platoon. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, but representing for the real hip hop shit, definitely. I would say Raph Almighty from Dirt Platoon.
Okay.
Another legend.
Yeah, putting out a record on his label real soon called The Bylaws. D Skills Harris, you know, as a producer and an MC, definitely hold it down. It's a lot of artistic history in Baltimore. It's really an intense city, and the art definitely mirrors the energy here.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up, bro. Hell yeah, bro. What's your next joint you got coming up? Like, what's the next project?
So Ancient Future, the joint they played on Sunday on the Podcraft. From that project, Ancient Future, and it's the first album of a trilogy. Of a trilogy of Afrofuturism themed hip hop albums.
Stop reading my mind, bro. Stop doing that, bro. That's not. We don't like when you do shit like that.
Writing a comic book that goes with it.
Oh,
it's funny.
You got the bomb or something? Drop a bomb on it, man. He killing him, bro.
And it's crazy you mentioned, like, you know, like
Baltimore. We shout out Melissa T real quick. Melissa T, the sponsor for the Wind Down Wednesday tonight. You know what I'm saying? With the Hun done. Respect and honor, integrity, love is the way. Forward, true. Written in your heart.
Man, respect. We gotta do something special for her. I might gotta drop a track for her or something. You know what I mean? We gotta do something special for her for that Hun done.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. We dropped the bomb for the Hun done.
But you know,
drop a bomb for Lyrical Leviathan out here with Ancient Future. Wayne Chandler style.
It's real interesting, like you talk about the art here, because you know the concept of the comic book that accompanies the Ancient Future album, shout out to my brother Kareem Ali, another dope out of here. He had this line that inspired the storyline of the comic book. And the story goes that when Lucifer fell from heaven, where he landed is the spot where eventually Baltimore would be built at. But what people didn't realize is that anywhere the devil is going to land, God is already there ahead of time, preparing to balance the scales. And so the way the story is told in the comic is that basically the way that devil's energy gets balanced out by the God energy is from all of the work that the artists and the people in Baltimore have been doing this whole time throughout the eons. And that created the balance for where Lucifer landed, because the God energy comes from the people and comes from the art. And then the whole saga just kind of goes from there.
That's what it is.
There's a pyramid-shaped spaceship involved and all that. It's crazy.
That's what it is. We was hanging out yesterday, you know what I'm saying, over there on Astrology Jesus, man. Give them a little background of what they missed.
Right, man. We was going in with all of the Kai Zodiac, Superman, and the Astrology Jesus. It was crazy. Like going through all of those joints and breaking them down like part by part like that was really wild. Yeah. Speaking of, DBL, we got Moonchild here in the building. We're outside. Moonchild, who y'all have heard singing on songs on the craft before.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Don't kill a Moonchild. Don't kill a Moonchild.
Right now.
Okay.
Right, so they about to call him right now.
Oh, he next.
Okay, so yeah, Prince Mac about to hit the stage next, so
yeah,
I'm about to run back up the stairs and get on those microphones. But
honest to you, honest to your daughter, winning, and your rhyme partner / son-in-law.
Future son-in-law.
Future son-in-law, Prince Mac, Prince Ati Mac. Okay.
Yeah, all right, he did good.
Yeah, we definitely be back through. Shouts out.
All right.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Crip Jesus and the one and only Knowledge Born Allah, always holding it down for the real hip hop.
Real hip hop. Hip hop is not dead. It's in Baltimore.
Yeah. All right. Oh damn, he up out of here.
Yeah. Prince Mac about to get on stage, so they're about to go be unruly. And
you said who?
Prince Mac, one of his rhyme partners. You know what I'm saying? / future son-in-law.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, you just said that. Yeah, that's when I asked him what they doing. He said, "Yeah, they're doing the Prince Mac joint."
Yeah, about to be Prince Mackin out here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
But I wanted to throw something up there for that Hundun, man. I got something special for her. I was gonna save it in the cut, but I think that Hundun deserves a celebration. You heard me, Knowledge more?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah. Let me
hold on. I can put it up there.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let me.
Okay.
I got you.
That was just out of nowhere,
Yeah, let me do this real quick, and then we'll come right back with this exclusive for the Hundun. All right, tell somebody we here live on the Wind Down, and we about to get intricate up in here. You understand what I'm saying? We about to get intricate. King of Allah in the building, especially known to y'all as Crip Jesus. Okay,
and don't forget, it's the summer in the year of the blue tang. That part.
The blue tang. Let's go.
The stoic silence of the oldest island begin to thaw, replaced by a growing comfort from endless wars. A sense of openness from the hopelessness of night terrors and war-torn. A culture hit on the tree of roots go down to hell. A vulture sits, its fruits are strange. Comfort is the enemy of change. That's Buddha slain. Ostentatious displays of masculinity, master identity, clashes of chemistry, acts to ministry. They found ossuaries where Yasha was buried. Yale and Oxford is wealthy. That's where it's held in box with the Steelies. Sensation-seeking journalists, selfish collectors, thieves and lit professors. Search for leads to hidden treasures. Forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve bitten together. Seductive promise, corrupt the conscious, curse of the monstrous. A bomb nuclear launchers. Dinosaurs extinct, who instruct the comets. Destructive regardless. Buddha's twisted bamboo. The Messiah touch a carpet. Unspoken tension, permeated the air. The sun show us vision, made perfectly clear. The whole solar system, from days, months to years, casting that over our tranquil existence. Joy and tears. The town's whispers grew louder, weaving tales of a particular king of power. Deceived as well. Conversation in hushed tones spoke of a clandestine underworld. King Tut's bones, the son of hell. Gray smoke filled the air, creating a nostalgic atmosphere. Contentment, religious. In the quietude of recent years, a mysterious veil descended from the night upon the living. The sun dipped below the horizon. The streets took on a different shape altogether. Monopolizing luxury cars, sleek and expensive, stealthily rolled through the winters. Criminal business with their wives and the fitness. Some took bribes, leads to a sentence. Some survived, codependent, now they co-defendants. Exposed to witness through hopes and contradictions. Cellmates, ex-cons in prisons. Killers with long convictions. Addicts with strong addictions. Badges, they draw depictions. Priest and mystic, listen. My book fell apart when I touched it. Its pages turned back to a papyrus, then went back to a tree, to a seed of a mustard.
Amazing.
Yeah, I need that button. They did it. Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing. Man, boy. I mean, Killer Priest is just, are we on? We not? Oh, I was about to say, yeah. When it comes to this rapping thing, bro, it's timeless.
Taj Money.
So my bad. This for the Hunt Done, y'all. This is exclusive for the Hunt Done. You know, when you do stuff like that, something special got to happen. So coming soon, we've been talking about it, but we're going to show and prove. Blue Tang in the building, y'all.
Blue Tang exclusive.
Taj Money.
Yeah. Dep TV, this motherfucker. Ooh. Hey. My hood be strapped like the Taliban. My hood be strapped like the Taliban. My homies be strapped like the Taliban. Smoking that bomb, Afghanistan. Stand on the corner, go hand in hand. Y'all niggas sweeter than the candy yams. Right around this bitch like it's Pakistan. My hood be strapped like the Taliban. Hey, if I ain't in the turf, I'ma slick Mac in the dirt. I put your face in the shirt. Look at niggas' faces, type and you search. You Google nigga names, you like to research. We shoot up niggas, make it right in reverse. You only shooting when you writing your verse. So shooting the videos, high off them perks. Hey, if it's really beef, then we ain't playing D now. We gon' go and hit them first. We gon' hit the scene and make that chopper sing. Yeah, it sound like Lil Durk. And that's on the set on my cousin Depp and every real nigga on earth. Yeah, he pulled up in the Honda Civic, but he left out in the hearse. Robert is strapped like a lesbian. These niggas is active, they lesbians. My cup and my blunt full of medicine. Dick melt in the mouth like a peppermint. Run up a check, I ain't sweating it. Run marathons, I ain't sweating it. Leave out the gym, go straight to the bank. Yeah, I'm always on that flexing shit. Lean got me leaning like a kickstand. Powder everywhere, like the shit saying. Bitch on the side like a 6-man. Chain so bright to give a bitch taste. All the young niggas be talking about bodies. 4/5 got kicked through karate. My bitch hair crazy colors Takashi. And she ain't paying no nigga not me. And them haters gon' hear me and copy you. Hear me like copy ya. Roger that. I could put that on my Dodger hat. I met her on Vine. Fuck the first time. After that, I never called her back. Taking these losses and taking these wins. Street taught us when to lose, get it in. G-Unit, 50 Cent, mini man. Wish death, so we keep effing ends. Nigga ride around smacking shit. Hit a lick, blow it all, ain't nothing. Nigga used to not having shit. Stuck in prison doing bad shit. Make your bitch take a knee. Collar Kaepernick strapped like the Taliban. My hood be strapped like the Taliban. My hood be strapped like the Taliban. My hood be strapped like the Taliban. My homies be strapped like the Taliban. Smoking that bomb, Afghanistan. Stand on the corner, go hand in hand. Y'all niggas sweeter than candy yams. Ride around this bitch like it's Pakistan. My hood be strapped like the Taliban. Hey.
Done exclusive. Strapped like the Taliban.
It just is making all the way to the Taliban. Free King 7 out loud. Give him a shout out, man. Go. It's your time. Go.
Hey, peace to the guys of Earth out there, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I love what y'all do, man. Keeping the people lit, keeping it ready, keeping it woke. Man, I love it, man.
Yeah. You feel me? I like to play with that element. A lot of people get scared when I play with that element, but this is my thing. Allah has seen and heard in all worlds. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always got to be, you know, everybody will say, yeah, let's go take our shoes off and meditate and float on clouds. And I like that too. But don't get it twisted. Tie up your camera when you're in Mecca, baby. G-Body talking.
That's it. Somebody gonna pick your pocket, fam. You understand what I'm saying? And if you Medina, somebody gonna strong arm you. Understand? Like, you just know what it is. Know where you at.
Yeah.
Do knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Do knowledge.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Twin flame it up. You feel me?
Word
that was
up.
the flame to the twin. I'll get better every day.
So, you remember this joint right here? You remember this movie?
What movie is that? Captain Hook?
Captain Hook.
Brotherhood? What's that?
Now let's see who old and who young up in here. Who's this guy on the screen? Who knows? It was an open book test.
We might gotta put some music to play in the background. I don't think they know.
Here we go. Look. MM got it. Candyman. Okay.
Candyman. Yeah. Candyman. Okay. Yeah.
No. You have to look in the comments. Look. You fired, Cryptic. You understand what I'm saying?
They got the little they got the honeycomb beat thing behind. I just caught on. Yeah.
So, Candyman right here, right? All right. So we still kind of offshooting from Sinners. When did this movie come out? What's the date of release of the first Candyman film?
Halloween 95.
Somebody put the date up there. Somebody put the real date because he's slipping a little bit.
Oh damn. Okay.
Somebody put the real date.
Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Nobody
in.
got it?
Yep, dog. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Just give it to us, man.
Y'all looking bad out here, man.
How are we looking bad? Why are we supposed to know the date of release for Candyman?
You got an open book, man. Open book, man. Open books. Somebody asked Google 17 times or whatever y'all be doing, chat and whatever. Somebody did all that. And ain't nobody come up with it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not even looking it up at this point.
Somebody said 1992. Y'all old. Yes, 1992. What date?
Halloween.
They said, I didn't say the year. Give me the date. The date is important.
October 31st, 1992.
October 16th, 1992. And this was in Chicago. So this other movie right here. There we go. After I say somebody write it. All right. Shout out to Jody. October 16th, 1992. The end of the sentence film. He's in his club, his jazz or his blues club, playing the guitar. October 16th, 1992. The guy I told you, that's the key figure in this story, but he played it like it's the background. This is the same day that this happened. This movie's released. October 16th, 1982, based in Chicago, in Cabrini Green. So Ryan Coogler is drawing this parallel in between these quote-unquote movie film universes, right? October 16th, 1932, in the place where the event took place for the movie, the period piece, there was a family that got into the shootout with the sheriff, and 9 of the family members, they was taken out by the police and all kind of other people. There was a young guy who got into it with the sheriff. The sheriff was disrespecting him, smacking him, whatever. He took the sheriff up out of here. You understand what I'm saying? So, he shot the sheriff, and it was on. There was a manhunt looking for him, going from house to house, and they went to this one house and they weren't having it. You know what I'm saying? So they got busy, and 9 of them was taken out, and one of the girls' name was Annie, right? And Annie is the love interest of one of the quote unquote protagonists in the film. So I'm just showing like the deep dive in regards to the reference to show the realm between film and reality, because we're still dealing with dualism. You know what I'm saying? So Chicago, Mississippi, Emmett Till, right? So all these worlds coming together. So you got the film and life and film kind of mixing all these things together, where it's happening in regards to the dates. And if you somebody that's in California, but if you somebody particularly in Oakland, October 16th means something different to you. You understand what I'm saying? So what October 16th means to you is different. If you in the UK and October of 1995, October 16th means something different to you. So it just depends on where you located, how you situated, and how you actualizing your culture, because we was talking culture earlier. So I ain't veer off nowhere. This is an actualization of our oral traditions being repurposed in regards to the realm of storytelling. This is where our traditions come from. Our oral traditions are a part of our culture. So if you ain't know what today's mathematics was, either you stayed in the house or you dealt with the consequences of coming outside. Justice is your penalty or reward, depending upon your ways and actions. You know what I'm saying? So these are all things that are there that go along with shaping memorable traditions within the confines or subset of a culture. One of the biggest traditions that's supposed to be a part of American culture is when the flag come on, you stand up and you salute the flag, whether you're in the military or not. So they'll tell you like, oh, we don't have no traditions, we don't have none of that, blah blah blah. When you go to school, they indoctrinate you with it. The Pledge of Allegiance. You understand what I'm saying? So when you start looking at it like that, I was a young guy looking at Red Dawn on TV. You know what I'm saying? And when they played the anthems of their nation, everybody got up and just salute their flag. You see what I'm saying? Like You know, they played that Russian anthem. My man took the joint off, put his hat over his heart, and it's all like, you know, he was all serious about it. You understand what I'm saying? So they have these particular stories that they tell, but they have a deeper meaning in regards to it. You know, this was all oral tradition. You see what I'm saying? And this is why you take 120 lessons on cat. You have them on cat. Because at any time or place, somebody could take those lessons, or you could lose them. You could recopy them. You understand what I'm saying? One of the sheikhs, God, he was talking about the Quran, right?
Yeah.
And versus these other books. He said you could take all of those other books and burn them in the fire, or throw them in the ocean, blah blah blah, and the Quran will be up the next day, because a hafiz or a group of hafiz can come together and write it from their head, because they have it in their head. You understand what I'm saying? And you look anywhere on the planet, but those who are purveyors of the story, you know, whether they call them griots, whatever they style them, right? They keep the tradition in their head. So it all works together in regards to that, how these things are actually structured and how they move. You know what I mean? So that's the credit, and that's the purpose behind it. They be like, oh, it's just memorization. Like, nah, that could be your life.
Exactly. Yeah, it exists now in real life. It can't be
we was young, we knew everybody's phone number. We ain't need no nothing.
Exactly. I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday. I said, now if something happens to me, I don't know any of the most important people in my life number.
Right.
Because they're all on speed dial, just hitting them with a button. I don't know their numbers.
Yeah. My father was a hafiz. My father was not only a hafiz in the Quran, in the Bible. He knew every word of the Bible and Quran.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was him out building. You know what I mean? And in the midst of everything else that was going on. You know, he was a universal lawgiver. You understand what I'm saying? Before it became universal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that kind of way. And, you know, 4 double heads meant 4 double heads. You know, those are the traditions that come from. Not, you know, what they metaphorically have been changed to. So there's differences in regards to that. So that's what I was saying earlier in regards to, you know, conquering and divided, because what that meant to him in his day don't mean the same thing nowadays. So traditions change, but culture is not supposed to change.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Your traditions and your accusation of what this culture is should adapt over time. But the Bible also says, I'm God, I change not. What you got, God? What you got over here? What's that?
Just you just go. I'm just you know, I was just like, damn, you know what I mean? No, because here's the thing, because this kind of goes on what we were talking about earlier with how tradition and culture are 2 different things. So tradition doesn't change. Like you were saying, tradition is something that this is the tradition, this is how it goes. It doesn't matter if it's right or it's wrong, if it's stupid, this is the tradition. That's how we get stuck with Christmas and Easter and all these things. They rooted somewhere, but by the time they got to us, they were tradition. As opposed to culture. Culture is a way of life, so it has to be rooted in life. Culture can't come from death. Culture can't come from something like slavery or gangbanging or anything. You know what I'm saying? Those are death styles. Those aren't lifestyles. Culture is a way of life. Life. So if your culture is not bringing you and your people life, it's not a culture, right? And you're looking for a culture. This is when your tribe is lost, right? So this is when you might have to change the tradition. This is why you do have to know the difference, guys. I see what you're saying, because you might have a poisonous, non-conducive, self-destructive tradition that you're confusing for culture. You know what I'm saying? And you see that in hip-hop a lot, especially when the Migos was coming. Remember they had that album called Culture? And they said, and they would do anything they do, rude, disgusting, anything, they say, do it for the culture. I ain't gonna single them out, it wasn't just them, but they became the face of it at that time. So what happens is we confuse tradition with culture. And we take the traditions that are handed to us and say, this is our culture. You know, saying nigga is not our culture. It's some tradition that came, damn near created, grafted tradition through, you know, it's another conversation. You know what I mean? Any of these things that we see inconducive to us, certain things we call soul food. We see certain foods within those meals that became tradition at some point, but they're for sure not culture, because culture is a way of life, and eating swine is a way of death. It's not a way of life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, being meticulous with the words like that is very important. You know, I've even called myself sometimes like, oh, you know, same difference, but no, you gotta. It's not the same difference. It's a big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you
live
out?
Culture are things that evolve.
Yeah, there are things that they're expressions. Traditions are expressions that are agreed upon. You know what I'm saying? Like folks come together and agree upon them. Oh, December 25th is blah blah blah. And if they're in charge of, you know, being purveyors of the culture or quote unquote cultural vanguards, they're gonna deal with that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, what Islam meant to an African, it don't mean the same thing to a pale Arab, unless the pale Arab institutes Arab imperialism, and he convinces the African that the Islam that they're practicing is not accepted. So they change, and that's what imperialism does. Imperialism takes you out of the fold of what is natural to you in a space of conformity. You see what I'm saying? So there are folks that have adopted Arab imperialism, and they call that Islam.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So the things that they wear are suitable for their climate. The things that we wear are suitable to our cosplay of what we think this culture is.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the culture. That's not the culture. That's imperialism. You understand what I'm saying? So the evidence of you in this attire becomes something that has you in this space where you identify that you pledge allegiance to that imperialism. And regardless of how you present yourself, you're not accepted there because it's imposed upon you. They know it's through servitude. It's not through adherence to culture. You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter where it's at. You see? So if Allah is seen and heard everywhere, and we do that, we can find that in no limit of time where we go. And where we go, we can find ourselves, and we can find some semblance of civilization or some semblance of culture. You know, how culture is practiced is through civilization. You see what I'm saying? So again, that cultural refinement, that means that you allow this culture to work on you from the inside out. It changes the way you think, the way you act, the way you interface, all of those things. This is what people call salvation.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you dealing in that realm, this is what it is. Candyman told that grafter, he said, "Be my victim," because they had hunted him down because he was out there doing the wrong. So they had chopped his head off, hung him, pour honey on him, and let the bees get him. You understand what I'm saying? And set him on fire. So he cursed them and said that he would come back and get him anytime he mentioned his name. You understand what I'm saying? So they did him like they did Freddie. Freddie, it was like, who's this dude? Oh, he's the weirdo dude from the nun mother and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And they made him the evil dude in the neighborhood. And it was like, oh, he was messing with the kids. So, you know.
Pause.
And, you know, they reprehended him with justice, quote unquote. So that was the thing. Like, if you was on Elm Street, you had something to do with it. I'm coming back to the dreams and getting the children. You see what I'm saying? The bloodlines. And the reason why I have him up here, because he was also in Final Destination. Final Destination this new Final Destination was called Bloodlines. So, you go back to the biblical narrative, the sins of the father visit unto the children to the 7th and 10th generation. You know what I'm saying? So this was his last film, the actual actor, before he transitioned. So there's a scene in the movie with him where he's talking about, life is short and I'm about to, enjoy the time that I got left. So he's literally telling the world he's about to transition. Like in the film, he like, I'm good. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? So both of them, work together. Yeah, Tony Todd. You see what I'm saying? That was dualism again. You see what I'm saying? Dualistic. So he's telling the world, okay, if I'm in front of this camera, I got anything to say. I'm telling the people to appreciate life. You understand what I'm saying? When Malcolm said, he's like, life is the best thing you got. But if you got to give it up, make sure it's even Steven. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's like, that's the best thing you got. You understand what I'm saying? He's just like, but if you got to give it up, make sure it's even Steven. So this mirror with him and Final Destination and Candyman and different adaptations over the years, so many things that he gave. His one last message to the world was to, live your life. You know what I mean? Like live your life. Like they coming to him with their preoccupation of death, but he's talking to them about life. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so there's a beautiful thing.
You can waste your time now worrying about some shit that's going to potentially maybe happen later. Like, you just want to be negative at that point. No, you ever had that? Like somebody call you and they got some negative going on, and then you try to hit them with the positive, and they like, man, it's like damn, they didn't even want to hear that. They get more mad, like, I'm like, man, I want to vent to you, talk negative. I want you to come down with me in misery, company. That's what I'm on.
Yeah, that's what they want. Yeah. That's what they want.
And that's that twin flame. You feel what I'm saying? It's like everybody have that good and that bad. Like I got a homie like that where his dark side is so dark. I'm like, bro, I love you, but that other side of you, I can't deal with it, man. You feel me?
So this was the last movie that I wanted to talk about real quick. The Accountant 2. So this is a movie about two brothers, right? So since we went from Sinners to Final Destination Bloodline, and Final Destination is the twin reality between the pathways between life and death, right? So life has a sequence and a pattern, and so is death. So this series illustrated that. All right, life and death, right? Like the Bible says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. So Final Destination was like, there was an event that was supposed to take place, and the lady averted the crisis of death at that time in the film. So first it shows how it all was supposed to play out, and then how she got hip to it at the last second and supposedly had saved a whole bunch of people from this impending doom that was coming for them. And because she did it, she threw off the trajectory of with the timeline. The thing that was supposed to take a day, it took a bunch of years. You understand what I'm saying? She was a young lady. She was pregnant, and her and her fiance at the time was in the spot that they had closed down. They closed down after she averted this quote unquote crisis. She saved a bunch of people's lives, so she looks like a hero. So they had all this time, but she became a prison to what she did, because she figured out that all of these people wound up getting it eventually, and their offspring, because their offspring wasn't ever supposed to be born because of that. So that film, deals with how you try to alter life and how you try to alter the trajectory of death, life and death, right? Twins of one another. So, whatever's written, as it's written shall it be done, so to speak. So now think about your life. You understand what I'm saying? The process of gestation and all of those years of development after coming from the womb, being fed intravenously and then developing to where you can sustain yourself on your own. That cycle of life, there's a process to life and there's a process of transition. You see what I'm saying? All these things have a dualistic sort of nature in regards to that. So there's a appointed time for you to be here, and then after that, it's a wrap. You understand what I'm saying? So all of those timelines are divine, and they're already written, as if they was written in the stars, so to speak. So this movie deals from a dualistic perspective. So that's Final Destination's Bloodline, and this accountant too, right? So it's a space of checks and balances, right? So Ben Affleck's character in this film, this is a part 2 to it. He is known as an accountant. He's an actual accountant, but he has another role. He has a role as, somebody who was going to catch some bodies if need be.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? And this is his brother. And his brother ain't no accountant. You know what I'm saying? He a cleaner. You understand what I'm saying? So they both got the same sort of role. They just were estranged from one another based off of their father and their mother. Ben Affleck's character is what they deem nowadays as neurodivergent. So with these things, he looks at things as, putting together puzzle pieces. So his is clear, right? Quote unquote direct. And his is fragmented until he puts it together. So his ability to be able to put these things together is his superpower, and his ability to be able to go direct at it straight up, blah, 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 is his superpower. So they're estranged and they meet up at the end of part 1 on a job. There was a guy who, was defrauding and all kind of stuff, whatever, blah, 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 right? And Ben Affleck shows up to handle that business because once he starts something, he got to finish it. So no different than the puzzle. Like when you out there working with the puzzle, it don't matter how many pieces. He has to put all of the pieces together. That's the part of how his mind.
I don't know about this ADD generation, but yeah, once upon a time we did puzzles.
I mean, all these things work. You know what I'm saying? Everybody works. So whatever they're supposed to put together, that's that thing, right?
I could imagine now, like these new kids would try to do a puzzle, and they'll be like, I just don't know where it goes. Google it. Can you Google where the piece goes? Like, no, you can't Google where the piece goes. You have to try to figure out where the piece goes on your own with your brain.
Hey,
I'm saying, just look, take a picture of the piece, put it in my phone. It should tell you like where I should put it. No, it's not gonna do that.
Hey, that sounds like something that somebody did. They already made that kind of technology for real because of that. You see what I'm saying? Because that's their inclination. Their inclination is different. But ours, okay, so hours on a rainy day or whatever the case may be, we just gonna work it. We're gonna work it. We're gonna try to figure it out. We're gonna keep looking at the box or however it goes. So the actual box was the thing for us, but they look at their little box. Their little box is the phone, and they phone tell them everything else. Why can't it tell them that? So again, back to traditions. Our tradition was one way, and that's a thing that had to be adapted to that new thing. The culture still exists. You're still trying to put the pieces together. The methodology changes based off of what it is for them. Some of us, it don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? Some of us, we work how we work. You see what I'm saying? So the same way it was a way for him and his brother, it was another way. You see what I'm saying? So that's his little brother. So his little brother always felt compelled to come in and, clean up after his brother. So his profession is a cleaner. You understand what I'm saying? Like you need somebody done up, you're gonna do him up. You understand what I'm saying? They thought those worlds were separate and they would never meet, right? They're like parallel lines, right? They would never meet, but they travel in the same direction. So on this job, they meet together in the middle of taking out this guy. He's supposed to be coming to the guy's aid, and he's supposed to be coming to take the guy out. So he's out there with his team, to go clean up the mess. No loose ends. And in the middle of it, he figures out like, yo, that's his brother. He's the only person on the planet that would have been able that had been doing this. He was saying some rhyme that he had in his head when he get flustered and he about to flip and lose it. He say whatever this nursery rhyme or whatever quote it was from one of those books, and he had finished it because he knew it was him. And they take out the guy and they go their separate ways. And there was another guy that he was feeding information to. He gets taken out this part, and he wrote on his arm before he died, like call the accountant. You know what I'm saying? So he's the accountant. So he's the only guy that we've been able to figure out who took the guy out type situation. So call his brother, and they do this work together. So it looked like they are two totally different people who live two totally different lives, but they have a twin energy of another. Like that movie Twins, Danny DeVito and yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tonight is your night, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like a whole little thing where they had that thing with each other type situation, like the Boondock Saints, if you say that joint. Same kind of, synergy, and it just looks different. So, I brought these couple of films up because of the dualism in regards to light, and giving aspects to both sides of your brain, the creative side and the analytical side. All of them have a place in you. You know what I mean? Like all of the signs of the zodiac, they all have a place in you. So however it goes, however you deem it through your cultural lens, because that's how you're supposed to be able to see the world. You see the world through your cultural lens. So if that's not your cultural lens, then you filter it through your cultural lens. And that's what it is. So if you have a culture, that means everybody else with you have a culture. You see what I'm saying? So you feel it through your cultural lens. So I ain't at nobody's culture. Knowledge is look, listen, observe, but most of all, respect. So I respect it, whatever it is. So however it goes, unless it's, destructive or harmful to humanity, then I got an issue with it.
Facts.
That's them movies in a nutshell.
That's when you got to draw the line. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to look at the science and see what is, it shows and proves whether it's adding on or it's destroying. You feel me? If it's destroying, then you don't support it. You feel me? Unless it's destroying the, what needs to be destroyed. You feel what I'm saying? But if it's self-destroying, self-destructive, nah. Well, I didn't bring, any movies, but I did bring some water for that fire. A twin flamey type of, we could cool it back down with some water and some lessons and some love, twin flame.
Okay. Some blue tang. You got some blue tang over there?
Some twin flame blue tang. We lit it on fire earlier. We shot people and shit. Now we got to take them to the hospital and heal them up. We only brought the war to bring the peace.
That's it. Let's go.
Due time.
It's just another dollar, another hour pass as the sands fall in the hourglass. I'm the God of the seven seas, the book of the Maccabees, the blood of Solomon, his imperial majesty. Call up in this war on drugs, I'm just a casualty. Calling for help over and over, they never answer me. I should have been the athlete, it would have been better, cause all of this trapping shit got us trapped in the hood forever. Forces voices in my head telling me get my shit together. If we get just one good run, we be rich forever. I ain't the type to just sit around wait for handouts. I had it planned out, but that ain't how shit panned out. I whip the pan out with the pot and I get the cooking. Shout out to New York, Queens, Bronx, Harlem, and Brooklyn. Started selling weed at school just to buy shoes. I ain't think I end up in prison with tattoos, cash rules, everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. It's the type of shit you gon' kill for. Life's a bitch, tell her take her heels off. It's snowing in July. It's hot outside in the wintertime. Gon' get yours, I'm gon' get mine, yeah. It's all in due time, yeah. Get the money, get the dollar bills. It's all in due time, yeah. Get the money, get the dollar bills. Peace and power, all my people from the past. Don't let these police, all these parasites push you off your path. I'm still pouring pain for the piss poor. Still pure-hearted, got these peckerwoods pissed off. Peter Piper pick peppers, I pop pimples. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Y'all niggas pop sickles. What brings rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? In the beginning was the word, the way I make the word move, nigga, I can make the whole earth shake. It's Crip Jesus, the greatest story never told. The blue God, the true God. Buddhism was 35,000 years old. Christianity only 551. Islam has no beginning, no ending. So really we have just begun. I am not God's son, really I am the one. The original, the Asiatic, the electromagnetic, radioactive. The only Crip nigga with a blue rag that can freestyle in Canada with cannabis. With a backpack full of blue spray paint and all black like a tarantula.
Louis B, cannabis, the super freestyler. He ain't out his friend for the notepad, and you can tell his boy that he want to give him the shit.
It's snowing in July. It's hot outside in the wintertime. Gon' get yours, I'm gon' get mine, yeah. It's all in due time, yeah. Get the money, get the dollar bills. It's all in due time, yeah. Get the money, get the dollar bills.
To switch it up, you feel me?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to play that for you for a minute because it's like it come in kind of jazzy, then it goes deep, then you get the lessons. You like, oh, where that come from? I said, I want to see what
He's power. I said, okay, all right, okay. Trippin' Valley, you know what I'm saying? Trippin' Valley out there.
Come with me. I feel like, listen, guy, I really did a lot of homework to put together this blue tank. I know a lot of people probably think I'm up here having the ball, just being cocky, yeah, blue. But no, once Killah said, yeah, I took it very seriously, right? And this is what I realized. In Wu-Tang, everyone represents a different chamber. And at that time, that may be deep. Okay, yeah, but now that those seeds they planted have sprouted, we can see them in hip hop. We can see the children of the ODB chamber. We can see the children of the Method Man chamber. We can see the children of the Inspector Deck chamber. Overly lyrical dudes, right? We can see the smooth lyrical children of the Jizza chamber. Right, we can see the trap rap, dope, hope D-boy rap children of the Raekwon Ghostface chambers. You feel what I'm saying? We can see the people who took whatever and ran with it, did whatever they did with it. So, to me, the Killah Priest chamber represents. There's always been the holy blue water and the spiritual and that flow. You know what I mean? So, that was one of the ones I had to cut. Actually, I was like, I said, nah. You know what? Just dealing with
dualistic.
Yeah.
It's dualistic.
Yeah.
You can You can stick your toe in the water, and the water could be ice cold, or it could be scalding hot, right? Or it just depends on you, right? So, priest is one of those justice is your penalty or reward, depending upon your ways and actions. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, he's a killer priest.
Come on.
It's master killer for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's killer priest. It's master killer. You know what I mean? It's Ghostface killer for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, the jizza, you know, he's a genius for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? So when you start thinking about it in that modality, there's a space where it's there, right? So the sun can heal you, or the sun can kill you. The sun can heal you, or the sun can kill you. Water has the same property. Earth has the same property. Air has the same property, right? There's dualistic, right? Witty, unpredictable talent and natural gain, or we usually take our niggas' garments. It's on you, right? It's on you. So, you know, when Master Killer say, when you see me, raise the universal flag in the air and say peace. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so that peace is a universal greeting, but it has a twin. War. You know.
Facts.
Peace is the absence of confusion. So how do you make sure ain't nobody confused? People following prescribed laws. So fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? All you who believe, fear Allah, and say that which is correct. So all of that, right? Why must he add a source to the upper part? All of it works, right? Universal law. There's karma, you know, all these principles that they're talking about, all that correspondence, mentalism, rhythm, polarity. There's nowhere you can go and don't find those prescribed laws, even if they look like they're in reverse. Even if they look like they're in reverse. So that's your perception of it.
Yeah.
Versus whoever's on the inside, it's real to them. You know, you ever met a cat who lie all the time? He don't think he lying. She don't think that she lying. They think they telling the truth. They convince their mind that they telling the truth.
How, God? They be bragging about lying, though.
God, let me tell you something. In their mind, it's true to them. Who's the twin of the?
Like you feel it so good.
What's the twin of the truth? It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So,
their truth is the lie. Damn.
Yeah. So their justification for the lie makes it real for them.
You right about that.
You see what I'm saying? So they're like, "No, I'm saying you're right."
I remember. I watched the Book of Clarence with two of the guys, right?
Yeah.
And remember the part where they beat him up real bad? Even the people who was laughing at him saying he ain't Jesus felt bad. They ran out there trying to help him. They beat him bad. Even the little kids was like, "Oh no, I'll help you." And a tear came out my eye.
Outside the party. Yeah.
No, when he's walking up the stairs. No, he's walking up the stairs. Courier in the cross.
Okay.
So a tear came out my eye, right? And wisdom years later, these Negroes want to lie to me and say I cried at a part where they killed white Jesus. I don't even remember them killing no white Jesus in there. And then it was so funny. It was so funny, right? That the nigga sitting next to the guy, I'm gonna say nigga, but the guy sitting next to him said, yeah, you did cry at the white Jesus. Yeah. So they grouped together. I said, this is impossible. I cried at white Jesus because I remember the part where the tear came out my eye. I remember them beating the brother down. And they went as far as to lie and say that they cried, both of them. They cried at the black Jesus part, and I cried at white Jesus. I said, "This, I can't do this."
On the Book of Clarence, did y'all watch two movies? Did y'all watch the Book of Clarence and Passion of the Christ? Like, you know,
they must be confused with Passion of Christ. I've never even seen Passion of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. But I'm saying no, God, I'm talking about Book of Clarence. You know what I'm saying? They don't. I don't even remember them killing no white Jesus in Book of Clarence. I'm not saying they didn't. I don't even remember the part. Like I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like how the hell you say I cried at that part? But the point I'm making is they were within the midst of the back and forth, they really convinced themselves that this happened and this was true. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that to say I do see what you're saying. Yeah, a true liar is gonna.
And once you change it in your mind, it don't matter.
Because they didn't just come out and say we cried. They as they kept arguing with me, it got more and more deeper. First they said, "Oh, I got emotional at the black part, and you cried at the white part." Then they went to, "I was misty eyed." Then the other nigga that was arguing, agreeing with him, said, "Yeah, I actually cried." Then they just turned into them. They stole my story. They both cried at the black part beating. I said, "Y'all didn't cry at all." That was
that sounds like the synoptic gospels right there, right?
Y'all laughed at me. Now y'all cried. Now y'all want to be me. Y'all cried, and I cried at white Jesus. This is ridiculous.
Look, that sounds like the synoptic gospel, though, Lord.
They try to convince me to agree. They said that's what made us know that you were a real human still. We thought you was like overly gangster. We thought it was over for you, but when we saw you cry at white Jesus, we knew there was some hope for you. I don't want to hear that shit. You try to convince me to agree I cried to white Jesus. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yo, so look at it like this. Everybody telling their account, right?
Yeah.
And that's the account.
Y'all like that because they agreeing on it. So it just makes it like the truth is a lie agreed upon type situation.
Yeah, man. That's how it goes. It's like, all right, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, Peter. All right. Well, the Gospel of Barnabas say it like this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, none of this ain't never happened. Like it goes like that. It just shows you that's a cultural universal. You know what I mean? It's like, so oral tradition, it matters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like back in the day, they was like, such and such told me, blah, blah, blah. Who told you that? Who's they? They told me, blah, blah, blah. They were like, no. Who's they?
Yeah, who's the they that told you this?
So the twofold for that is either that person is a liar or somebody told the truth.
Facts.
Now, the receiver bases it off of their relationship to whoever told you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So how they feel about them, what they know about them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, the oral tradition and the Orthodox Islamic tradition goes what they call a chain of narration. So if somebody said it, they reported that such said this, they go back to a chain of narration. So either it's strong or it's weak. So you be like, oh, who said that? It's like, yo, who you hear that from? You see what I'm saying? So what you was talking about in regards to, source of light and love a lot, it go back to these people right here, right? These people right here brought civilization over here.
Mm-hmm.
This one was responsible for the rallies. This one was responsible for the teaching. This one was responsible for being an enlightened. This was the first enlightened problem. Like all of that, all this is oral tradition, right? That becomes something verifiable based off of your ability to be able to trace that back, right?
Yeah.
So trace it back to the fatherland, right? So now it becomes a oral tradition that's following the same trajectory of the chain of narration. Like, oh, who taught you? Who taught him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who taught him? You know what I'm saying? Or how you connect that back to, Mecca or D-Mecca or wherever you got your source of light is. You see what I'm saying? All of that works.
You know
what I'm saying? All of that works like that. So, reporting on the authority of whomever the quote unquote scholar is. They got people, that's their whole life. That's their whole life.
Yeah, who taught you?
Looking to piece together oral tradition and canonize it and put it in some books with some people.
I mean, you know what's cold, God? I never, New York turned me out like that, God. I never was like that. I was, I'm from the West. Bring them in. Peace, peace, peace. It was New York that infected me with that stuff. They want to know who, what, who, when, that. They got me like that. I said, okay. So I'm going to stop doing that. I think I'm a little bitter. I think they brought me to, it's my fault because I'm the one with the extra out names and all that. But I just build the table so many times, I'll be wondering, okay, well, who taught these people? Who are these dudes? They're like, why you tripping, God? I'm like, we all tripping.
It's all a part of the process. You have to have a spirit of discernment. You can't just be out here.
Yeah, somebody got to be, exactly. That's why we move as a team. Somebody got to be that guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Facts.
Yeah, everybody. That's not everybody's job, but that is somebody's job. And if you don't have that somebody with you, you're susceptible.
Yeah.
There's a part in that movie Sinners where he sent the younger cousin with him. He said, "Go with him." He said he couldn't watch his own back. You know what I'm saying? So it was the truth. He couldn't watch his own back, but he didn't have to his whole life. His brother did. You know what I'm saying? So he did things that his brother couldn't do. His brother couldn't talk to nobody. His brother shoot somebody quicker than he would talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. So his round was, oh, let me be the front man. You watch my back. Let me do the talking. You chill. Don't be out here talking to nobody because they're gonna piss you off. You're gonna shoot them. You understand? Like your first inclination. It ain't no like he learned how to negotiate from his brother. So he don't credit that. He don't say that. You see one responsibility, you see another responsibility. You see one space of value, you see another space of value. But both of them look like they devalue opposite of each other. Mm-hmm. But there's a union that makes those two work together. You know what I mean? So they say, how can two walk together except they agree? You know what I'm saying? So all that works in tandem. So again, left and right hemispheres of your brain, higher, lower self, duality, all of that. All of them things. So
okay.
My last little part before I get into play more Killer Priest. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you wanted to add on real quick.
No, I actually got to go, but this is perfect timing though.
Oh, you got to bounce?
Yeah, before I jet out though, what's the last thing we doing? I probably got about power more minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be longer than that.
Well, what we doing?
I was gonna look at both of the Walking Life joints and both of the Nag Hammadi joints. You know what I'm saying? And give my thoughts. So.
Oh no, yeah, I'm talking about what we finna do right before that. I gotta leave for that, but I'm saying I thought you were saying we was about to say something before that. You know
in case you wanted to add on, you know what I'm saying, give you that time to add on.
Okay, yeah. No, I just want to let the people know, you know, it's Blue Tang, man, 7-Eleven. And 7-Eleven is not just about me marketing. Everything I do is for Allah, and I'm just a vessel because I'm the arm, leg, arm, head. You know what I'm saying? So 7-Eleven is one of the most important numbers for our what, God? Our culture. This ain't tradition because most of us never even heard of 7-Eleven. We thought it was a hello, welcome to 7-Eleven. So it's not our tradition. So let's start there. Now, hopefully the guy hope to establish it as a tradition amongst our people to at least talk about it. So that's why I kicked the tradition off by constantly talking about it. I could say 711, right? I could say 71-1. It's 7-Eleven. You have the 7, you have the 11. It's the same thing when you roll the dice. You have these power numbers. Okay? So it's no coincidence that sometimes I wonder is 7-Eleven even the actual year that we ran into Europe? Because it seems like it's just more of a symbol than a number. So that symbol represents when we conquered the devil. If y'all don't think that ever happened, I think, what are you talking about? Check 7-Eleven. You feel what I'm saying? Check 7-Eleven, how they flipped it years later. They told you 9/11. But what's 9/11? September 11th, 7-Eleven. Okay, so you will be hearing from us with this Blue Tang thing on July 11th, just to kick off for the summer, and then again in September 11th to keep the tradition of the 7-Eleven. And we will keep giving this lesson over and over and over every time we tell y'all the date is coming out. You feel what I'm saying? For that 7-Eleven, you feel what I'm saying? Because that's a number we need to all, and you know, that's why I got these, that's why I can't wait, man. I'm gonna put these posters up everywhere with the Blue Tang and the Crib Jesus 7-Eleven on the bottom. That's science right there for you. I gotta look that up already. So yeah, 7-Eleven, you know, that's all I really wanted to say before we do our thing. My little shameless plug.
Tell them anything, man. Let them know what it is, all right?
You feel me? My Blue Tang T.O., man. Holler at me, y'all. We ain't gonna make these forever. These exclusive. This might be a collector edition pretty soon.
Yeah. My born day is on Monday. You know what I'm saying? June the 2nd.
Oh, I gotta tap in with you, guys.
We gonna get busy.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm gonna be here or wherever I'm gonna be somewhere virtually. So
I might go make a song just for you. Like
gonna be
I was born.
fun-filled. Yeah. Shit, I might rhyme that day. Ain't no telling. You understand what I'm saying? I'll be turned. So the next Wind Down Wednesday is Solo Jim's. His one day on the 4th. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So may the 4th be with you, Solo Jim. You know what I mean? I don't know where they're gonna be, but we're gonna be here one way or another. We're gonna be celebrating. You know what I mean? So definitely gonna be dope. So if y'all wanna show us some love, I mean, we with it. You know what I mean? We with it.
So pulling up.
Geminis, we roll as twins. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Then I went rogue on them. You know what I'm saying? Ice cold as wind. Those who attempt to steal my parents. Gemini, we roll as twins.
Yeah, I love that.
You post the life.
I'm a walking life.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, peace, y'all. Let me brush this plate over, man. It was beautiful. Peace to God.
Right. Peace, God. Appreciate you coming through, Lord.
Of course.
Rip Jesus. Okay. So we got a little Gemini edition of Play More Killer Priest. Let me tell you, the opportunity to be here adding on with y'all is always an amazing opportunity. What the AD sent me. Shout out to Architect D, man. AD sent me Star Wars based off the Zodiac. Different characters. Where is that? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick for I Play More Killer Priest, man. You understand what I'm saying? We get into the Gemini edition of Play More Killer Priest. Then we ended off with Play More Killer Priest. You know what I'm saying? So see what it is. And if y'all got any questions, let me know before I get all the way into this. Give me 1 second. Matter of fact, then I gotta wait for me to queue up now. Let me play this real quick and be right back.
Pain make the black fathers chain smoke. It starts to rain in the park, children playing on the swings. Marvin Gaye standing in his raincoat. Do you see demons in the flames? World made them go crazy till he seen the babies with the wings of an angel. They can't grow, it's painful. First off, rest in peace to Takeoff. His real name Kirchnick, Kyrie Ball. At the same time with Kanye, then Kyrie got involved. Oh wow, Kirchnick, Kyrie, then Kanye. Guess that's the modern day KKK. Ancestors were slaves, now we America's plagues. Be aware and afraid. From Hebrews to Negroes, I heard the sequels fire and brimstone. Cause they put the messiahs on Skid Row. We were the providers that lift stones. We had empires with big thrones. We were never pre-owned, now we unknown. When I write, I can see home. Before they put our seeds in the twilight zone. The enemies with the white tone that gave us BET and EBT. R.I.P. to Nate Dogg and Eazy-E. Tupac Shakur and B.I.G. Shots for you all, and one more for Shock G. They on the ships as Anunnakis. When I spit, they transform through my body. They call it the gift of my hands when man first saw astronomy. Call me Gandhi, a godly from Mali. Spread love like I'm on Molly, but I'm as strong as broccoli or broccoli. They call me the Mahdi. The truth is clear as Saki. I'm headed through the spheres. The proof is here. The suits I wear is probably for the star seas. I'm the tsunami. Split to both sides when I part seas like Moses. I wrote this is God disease. Hashtag, when did Kanye start talking like he's Razzcast? Who would have thought it? But we support it. Knowledge drop like a leaky faucet. Take ignorance out like a trash bag. Say to babies, we in the land where they made a graven lady. The great horde that makes war and takes your safety. Satanists, necromancers. Question God, the devil answers. Alchemists with bars, a metal handler. I sit on a throne with heavy antlers. The golden deer, the chosen steer. It's more than rap in the booth, I'm a channeler. I sense rejection, isolation, and fear. In abandonment, I planted hit. Candles lit for a year. Save the babies. Stress, loss of control, death. This is Hades. Bodies going up the pole. They feel lost in the need to belong in. I see the performance. Let's save our seeds till the morning and place our greed in the coffin. You can actually see what I'm talking. I got the tolerance of Solomon. On my throne of knowledge in the outer realms. I see it like a film or a hologram. I see our babies going crazy. Infants codependent with no opinions that's so offensive. No one to help them or show them business. So they are codependent in his prisons. But with the math, I'm the master of the solar system. I came in to craft through a expose religion. But I'm good friends and good faith with the Jehovah Witness. And so with Christians. In Islam, I sit calm as I deal with the outer limits. I switch palms, I'm the old magician. Sleight of hand when I'm writing jams. My style is hidden, algorithms, balance wisdom. The salads heal them. Trauma from the mama, drama. I had rhymes ready to carry the summer, but I was never ready for the news. I had to bury my mother. I told my Aunt Cassie and Aunt Carrie I love her. Don't worry, no suffer. Fish and curry for supper. She's my Mary as I sit with the brothers. Maybe my last meal, Judas, came as a covert, narcissist. Arguments over if I had a deal. Bag of pills, 50 pieces of silver, I grab the steel. It's getting real, this give me chills. I've written this will, understanding anxiety through a child's eye. Grew up on the wild side, expecting the storm, mad clouds in the sky. Saved the children, obeyed the healing. They played victim, became the villain. God favors Abel's offering because of jealousy came with killing. In the 60s we were proud of blackness. None of black queens and child are captive. Churches Alice to practice. Our attitudes are maladaptive. Our children play in the day, but at night the owls are active. Police proud with the captain. Big brother watches through clouds for our taxes. We stand on mounds looking up but can't see them like the meerkats. And fear that they looking down on our actions. Post-traumatic stress disorders. The IRS at our door cuz they took the law from us. They plan to build a super highway to try to escape and get arrested at the borders. Grandmothers pray, making a mess at the altar. It's like the old days, hair braids. Like the chicken necks, make an offer. Pray till it rains. Stir up a hurricane over Mississippi till the whole South flood with waters. We personalize, we hurt inside. We never arrive, we first try. 432 Hertz vibes. He must be doing the devil's work. This is Mr. Universe live. West is Yam, the East is Codeine. Teaming in South. Let me even this out. It came from the North, which is smoke. Painted on skulls. The land of Canaan of old. Trading and enslaving the gold. Required by force. Wanted resources from tribes on a horse. Uninhabited plots. That's why the unexplained gathered in crops. The whole universe is inside of an astronaut. They say Killer Priest. Sounds like when Prince first worked with Sheila E. When Michael Jackson first put on his glove. When the first disco balls lit up a club. When Bob Marley lit up his bud. Or hear the keys by Stevie Wonder. Or hear my CD mother. Save the babies.
So this is what AD sent me over here. I don't know if y'all can see it well, but different signs from Star Wars up there. I don't know. See what your sign says. Look at them Gemini speaking up over there. So yeah, that was that. I don't know if y'all seen anything with it, but I just thought it was dope. It was funny. I like the AD for the joke of the day. All right. So now we're going to get to this part. I'm going to play both versions of Walking Life and both versions of Nag Hammadi. So y'all let me know in the comments which I want to hear first. Put one for Nag Hammadi or two for Walking Life. Let y'all pick. Let's see what it is. And shout out to tonight's sponsor one more time. Melissa T with the Undone. Okay, respect, honor, integrity. Love is the way forward. Truth written in your heart. Okay. So what y'all want to hear first? Nag Hammadi or Walking Life? Shout out to Mitzi Hotep and Jody in the building. Hank, Daniel, all of the fam. Just J, Aurora Borealis, MM Food. So nobody, y'all ain't ask no questions either today. I'm good. I'm tell you, look. I am good. Somebody gotta make some sense up in here. What is it? So I'm gonna pick if y'all don't want to pick. I gave y'all opportunity to pick. Right? Y'all playing the rap. So we're gonna go into the walking life right now. Okay. Shout out to Solo Gems, man, in the iron software hip hop. Killah Freeze. Tell somebody to play more Killah Freeze.
The government tell us we woke, and at the same time sell us the dope that leads to heart failures and strokes. Where do we start? Do we believe what the elders wrote, or the ones who watch through a telescope? The Illuminati cyclops, beast mark on every coast. The head of a cult, the devil goat that sits in a drum circle like a hippie, dressed like a gypsy. My best of rocket the nebula quotes is like Tesla notes. Now they got surveillance on Diddy. I'm a cross between Umar Johnson and Billy Carson. I told my grandmother that we are from where the stars from. I'm like Rod Hayes, but I'm Todd Wave with a blonde fade. Some days it'll be an orange braid, half shade. That's just his character. I made hair like lemonade. Both his parents come from Africa. Y'all know the prototype. It's the walking life. See, the sun is the source of light. It made my quartz bright as New York at night. They say when Walter Wright, he could steer Hathor to the boat of the moon. Into the cliff, sent to the glyphs to open the tombs. They say Killah flows is like pillar porticos that fulfill the scrolls made of silver and gold. The bars I laid is like sculpted on the architrave. I wrote it like an art display with gods and goddesses with darker shades. I wrote it in the chamber, glowing like the child that was golden in the manger. Only 3 kings knew he was growing to be the savior. Okay, back to rap more about Hathor, the cow-headed near the Nile desert. Under the white clouds, the native dancing in the powwow. He wore the head crown of owl feathers. As the clan went from loud records, and priests and Jizza wrote their signature down on Geffen. And hip-hop's are where I found the presence. The shepherds are coming down from Mount Everest, surrounded by peasants. With unclean skin disease, they called them leopard. I pointed a finger up and moved it around till I found the nebula. I told them I walked through Babylon, Persia, and Mecca. I talked to bees out their nectar, kings out their treasure. I've been counting ever since I've been walking. I started from forever. I've been writing on steelies inside of caverns where it's misty. Dealt tarot cards to the hands of time. Closed my eyes while the mouth of a cave kissed me. I gave the walls history. Y'all enslaved us all misery. That's why I shaved it off and came back bald, a mystery. I wrote it all on big slabs of lapis, lazuli, channel vibes to the candle fire. 12 candlesticks sits on amethyst. I write my scrolls on the clove of a rose. You see them when they unfold, the untold secret me and the queen bee hold. So when they make the pollen bin, I can communicate with the insect world like King Solomon. Solar Gems, most wrote of him.
Then I went rogue on them, those who stole my pen. Then I went ice cold as wind. Geminis we roll as twins. When we take the mic, we're the walking life.
The D's rated houses looking for your favorite out of Brooklyn. Africa praises to the bushmen, to the natives in the woodlands, the razors in the juxin, through the mazes of the bullpen. They killed our saviors, re-raised us and made us into hoodlums. Malcolm X became one of the greatest out of the Muslims, except for this boxer who never went to Oxford, never became a doctor, but got the rings of the chakras. Cassius Clay and Hathaway passed away, saw dimensions. George Benson, could this be a masquerade? Preacher said fast and pray. My mother's not there, but I asked her grave. Tiffany's not here, but her ashes stayed. What words will Prince and Michael Jackson say? I was a boy, now the mirror showed me patches of gray. Then it got black, and I started like tapping into a haze. Dazed, the mirror said your hair looked glazed because that's how much passion you gave. This is what happened, you still rapping. The mirror became my healer when it told me I was a pyramid giver, a gold spitter and a soul filler. I came to slay the Antichrist. Walking life, walking life, walking life. Yeah, it's no prayer.
Now, who are some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the creator, mythical gods, real ones, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they're playing. Same time, sell us the dope that leads to heart failures and strokes. Where do we start? Do we believe what the elders wrote, or the ones who watch through a telescope? The Illuminati cyclops, beast mark on every coast. The head of a cult, the devil goat that sits in a drum circle like a hippie, dressed like a gypsy. My best of rocket to nebula quotes is like Tesla notes. Now they got surveillance on Diddy. I'm a cross between Umar Johnson and Billy Carson. I told my grandmother that we are from where the stars from. I'm like Rod Hayes, but I'm Todd Wave with a blonde fade. Some days it'll be an orange braid, half shade, that's just his character. I made hair like lemonade. Both his parents come from Africa. Y'all know the prototype, it's the walking life. See, the sun is the source of light. They made my quartz bright as New York at night. They say when Walter Wright, he could steer Hathor to the boat of the moon. Into the cliff, sent to the glyphs to open the tombs. They say Killah flows is like pillar protocols that fulfill the scrolls made of silver and gold. The bars I laid is like sculpted on the architrave. I wrote it like an art display. The gods and goddesses with darker shades. I wrote it in the chamber, glowing like the child that was golden in the manger. Only 3 kings knew he was growing to be the savior. Okay, back to rap more about Hathor. The cow-headed near the Nile desert. Under the white clouds, the native dancing in the powwow. He wore the head crown of owl feathers. As the clan went from loud records, and priests and Jizza wrote their signature down on Geffen. And hip-hop's are where I found the presence. The shepherds are coming down from Mount Everest, surrounded by peasants. With unclean skin disease, they called them leopard. I pointed a finger up and moved it around till I found the nebula. I told them I walked through Babylon, Persia, and Mecca. I talked to bees out their nectar, kings out their treasure. I've been counting ever since I've been walking. I started from forever. I've been writing on steelies, inside of caverns where it's misty. Dealt tarot cards to the hands of time. Closed my eyes while the mouth of a cave kissed me. I gave the walls history. Y'all enslaved us all misery. That's why I shaved it off and came back bald of mystery. I wrote it all on big slabs of lapis, lazuli, channel vibe to the candle fire. 12 candlesticks sits on amethyst. I write my scrolls on the clove of a rose. You see them when they unfold, the untold secret me and the queen bee hold. So when they make the pollen bend, I can communicate with the insect world like King Solomon. I mean solar gems, most roll to him.
Then I went rogue on them, those who stole my pen. Then I went ice cold as wind. Geminis we roll as twins.
When we take the mic, we're the walking life. The D's rated houses looking for your favorite out of Brooklyn. Africa praises to the bushmen, to the natives in the woodlands, the raisins in the Judson, through the mazes of the bullpen. They killed our saviors, re-raised us and made us into hoodlums. Malcolm X became one of the greatest out of the Muslims, except for this boxer who never went to Oxford, never became a doctor, but got the rings of the chakras. Cassius Clay and Hathaway passed away, saw dimensions. George Benson, could this be a masquerade? Preacher said fast and pray. My mother's not there, but I asked her grave. Tiffany's not here, but her ashes stayed. What word will Prince and Michael Jackson say? I was a boy, now the mirror showed me patches of gray. Then it got black, and I started like tapping into a haze. Days, the mirror said your hair looked glazed because that's how much passion you gave. This is what happened, you still rapping. The mirror became my healer when it told me I was a pyramid giver, a gold spitter and a soul filler. I came to slay the Antichrist. Walking life, walking life. Yeah, it's no
Walking man's thoughts expand, rivers in my orbits ran after me across Japan. Mastered the default command, skin brown but so bright. The mirrors where I caught a tan, lost in Pan's labyrinth. Spirits move across the sand, but birds to fly, the words defy. But in exchange, they lost their hands, appeared inside a jungle. In the bed upon a Moorish man, I'm multiplying gold horizon. Traveling, I goes Orion, burned the tree to 3rd degree. Asking all the birds agree, I'm certainly a giant. Using bamboo just to stir the sea. Watched across an island, suddenly cooked the leaves to turn the tea. Smoking gun and smoking suns 1,000 leagues below Poseidon. Fell asleep and fell to sleep. Woke up and I spoke Hawaiian. Kami homicide. My brain was never colonized. There's angels, demons, gods inside. Bakeries were prophesied. Serving loaves of sermons. They all heard and drove in herds and droves to see me when I'm cooking up. I'm writing over burning stoves while levitating lepretainment. Search below the surface robes. Surface codes. Words explode. Terminator circuits froze. Zigzag zodiacs. Killer, that's in murder mode. I hate how serpent hurt the toad. I can make the sculptors cry. Rivers undiscovered under colors in the sulfur sky. In the child lullaby. Valley where the skulls are dry. Swimming this a coast supply of culture. Most of those deny. Children see it still believe it. Lyrics make your brains whirl. Zodiac charts inside the coffee cup. He made swirls with coconut creamer like he slowly watching paint swirl. Quiet child who clammed up spoken. Then it made pearls. Kai died twice like Mandela and James Earl. But only lived once in many bodies in strange worlds. My neck's a grail. Talent spinal fluid in the mind wine. They don't understand me here. I'm from a higher timeline. I wonder what the microscopic people on my spine find. Pro Tools arena. So cool demeanor while my head and heart battle. That's old school Medina. Show and prove repeater. So smooth computer. I told you, Eureka. Zodiac and show theatrics. Clearly they don't know the brackets. Nearly break your bones for practice. Think of kids who grow the cactus. Marveled at my own exactness. That stand lethal from lowly maggots to holy maggots. Engraved sigil in the stone of Cabraxis. Who kept his name hidden as unknown on the track list. Who rode a winged dragon on the road to Damascus. That kept his wings flapping on the throne of Galactus. No man can tell a Muslim from the bones of a Baptist. Dragon flame spit and turn the stones into ashes. I don't even mean music, but I own all the masters. They ain't really government here, they're only actors. Farmers sat on lonely tractors, shaving over Hopi pastures. Only realized he giving haircuts to an Olmec after. Children in my gene pool and couldn't get a pool pass. Used to walk on blue moon grass, vision the cruel past. Astrology just take the wheel, now I don't need the fuel gas. My Uranus versus means I'm following the rules last. Back when I was formed, all the angels in the heavens stared. Sharp and swollen harpsichords playing over 7 stairs. Said a prayer, said a bear, my solar system set a prayer. Know why I'm so fly, I'm flowing in the debonair, left the square. Anywhere I sit is an electric chair. Inside the maze I reached the dead end, and so I made a door. By just thinking, modern legend of an ancient Moor. When you die, the world dies, you're who they made it for. The tallest giant made a glass ceiling, it became my floor. Lyrics in my brain galore, miracle they can't ignore. Zodiac, I'm the only man that time waited for.
Now, who were some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the creator, mythical gods, rhythms, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they're playing.
That joint made all my TVs cut off. You understand what I'm saying? So we got the visual walking life and the super visual walking life. Z-style, Abraxas, Cabraxis, dualistic, masterful presentation. All my TVs went on. Telling you. The amount of lyrical swordsmanship and thought forms that transcribe with the heat and power of the sun and the sun rays. You can feel it where you are. You can feel it where you are. You can see it where you are. this visual representation, returning back to a point of civilization or a root of civilization, going back to the pyramids, right? These step pyramids. I said shout out to the greatest, the mothership, Ty Phoenix. I was talking to her earlier, and I said the Olmec heads, because she made a remark about this video. Like, the video lives in your head whether you are watching the video or not. They like, yo, this walking life video, this trek, this Meltrek. Shout to Dr. Oya, my aunt, for Meltrek. Her family created a series called Meltrek. And in that series, they go to these pyramids. They go to from one set of pyramids. Like, look at the dualism again. Gemini re-roll is twins, right? Solo gems and priests go to the Nile Valley to see these pyramids. And then they go to these step pyramids. The Nubians over here, right, in the Nile Valley. And the Olmec Mayan over here in this valley. Twins of one another with variations. So Priestess Solo Gem with these Olmec heads go from one level of root of civilization to another level of root of civilization. So this trek in talking about upper and lower Kemet lyrically without having to mention it, and showing the two dualities, right? So the government tell us we broke, and at the same time sell us the dope. Their press had a song called Selling Dope, and dope was an acronym for drugs oppress the people every day. So what's your drug of choice? What has you in this low state of being? What has you dealing in the lowest parts of yourself? So the government says, yo, from this standpoint, like we in a recession. We ain't got no money. And at the same time, sell us the dope. So whatever the dope is, it don't have to physically be that drug. Whatever your drug of choice that keeps you in a down state. So look at the return, right? Look at the return. In the movie centers, there's the scene that I was talking about where one of the twins comes into the bar and he's talking to his younger cousin. And he says to him, we bought all your albums. He said, they was all right, but he loved the real. He said, can you still play that real? So he goes into the guitar case and he pulls out the guitar that he gave him. Had it restored, and he's playing the song from Buddy Guy, Traveling. So all of these are sights and sounds, and as he reflects back through his mind, he's able to bring those memories back to life and back to his material view. So So the muse that sparks the divine thought of memory, like water holds memory. And, talking to the mothership, the mother of the zodiac, Ty Phoenix, with her and water, the pluralization, the meme, the mother, right? Mother and son. Priest, she's talking about Killah Priest and this video with his son, father and son. Mother is in the middle of father and son. Mother makes father and son. So this two worlds that appear physically, mentally, and visually paint pictures. As Zodiac says, a walking man, thoughts expand. So in that space of travel, in that space of movement, you have an opportunity. If your trajectory started off one way, it doesn't have to end that way. The rise and fall of the chest, the walking on that path of life, that circumnavigation of the globe, or the circumambulation around that clock or that wheel or that sun, whatever the case may be, it's there. It's that walking life, right? Walks of life, meeting people from all different walks of life. We all exist in different walks of life too, from all different walks of life. So that walking life is you walking your living culture, a living ambassador of your culture, a living ambassador of your culture or traditions that you have internalized as your own. And when you interface with people, you show them your family. You show them where you live, where you're from, whatever the case may be. So all of that works in tandem. So if we don't have a guest next week in the midst of celebration, we're going to be going through all of that. So I want to kind of paint that picture in regards to the richness. Like, these songs are timeless. These songs, they never get old. You could listen to them over and over and over and over. Play more Killah Priest. So this connection of the two worlds together, the two synapses that are interchangeable. When I spoke about this album, I spoke about the John the Baptist and Jesus or Yeshua's relationship. One opening the way for the other, one being the forerunner for the other. It's interchangeable in how they work together. So when you see solo, you see priest. When you see priest, you see solo. Like, all works together. The Father and the Son and the Father. And the other sons in the pantheon, right? All the brothers, right? So we work all of them all together in that way. So when you, like with the Gemini, when you see one, there's another that's present. So yeah, when you see priest and Ka come together in that way, either one could be the Lord and the Messiah, and both are the Lord and both are the Messiah. So both could be the Lord and the music is the Messiah. What they give as the one that is sent, their message to uplift fallen humanity, to have us utilize the best parts of ourselves, our mind and our heart, to change the trajectory of the walking life for those who come after. So a masterful space giving from the head and the heart through the hands. Their message to the world. One of love, which is the highest form, and the replication of that love, which is its highest expression. So, walking life, now we're about to get into the Nag Hammadi God bodies. Okay, that's where we get into that. Shout out to Crip Jesus. Crip Jesus came up here and his Sagittarius style, you know, shaking things up, man. Honest to God, man. Free up Jesus. So tell somebody we're about to get into Nag Hammadi. All right, let's go.
Have you heard of Nag Hammadi? No? Let me tell you about it. The Nag Hammadi library is a collection of 13 ancient books called codices, containing over 50 texts. Texts that present a radically different view of early Christian beliefs.
During the early race, man wanted real estate, so he started building shape. Others started to fill away, though they started killing snake. Those of the worldly faith found themselves in pearly gates. Left his seat as girl inflates. Blessed he who elevates. Set the tea and meditate. Rain splash off of the stained glass. Medieval cathedrals that still stand in Spain and France. Skeleton figures how many diamonds his ring had. The courts had green grass. The hawks took spring baths. Across where kings clashed, they fought for the queen's hand. A masterpiece done by priests. Refractory property so unique. Sister goes Sophia in her holy seat. Her feet Alistair Crowley sleeps. It's where Kiss and Bon Jovi meet. The Greek, the beast, the owl covered in rosaries. Prophetess, potions and poetry. Abraxas Rebus Simha. The lion called Simba. When rhyming I'm the Templar. The troubadour make music for the temper. The rooster call from roof to floor. The eyes in the center. The truth is all manly hall. What lies within the picture. The fruit don't fall. Nuclear war that ties within the scriptures. The zodiac sign of Hitler. More than one Jack the Ripper. More than one Shakespeare. For some of the take years. The Nag Hammadi God body. That practice motionless karate. The dragon on my Vatican Armani. Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi. Craft I'm in, I'm mastering. The carpentry, the scaffolding. Corian stones to cornerstones. When I grab the pen, I fall in my zone and reach the African. Plastered in the walls of Rome, the priest is practicing. The royals on the doors of the dome, pads and fabric skin. On the mountain surrounded by columns, writing my album. All alone like a minute in solemn, solving my problems. Gotham sanctuaries, a wall of St. Mary's. The Gospel of John is scary. Lately I've been drinking heavy, reading Psalms with nervous palms. Open the vote, grab my sword and my coat of arms. Murder I wrote. Nag Hammadi library. Nag Hammadi library.
Imagine finding a book that tells a completely different version of a story you thought you knew by heart. These manuscripts were hidden for a reason. In the end, Nag Hammadi's texts aren't just relics. They're a bombshell on traditional teachings, showing us just how diverse and dynamic early Christian thought was. Have you heard of Nag Hammadi? No? Let me tell you about it. The Nag Hammadi library is a collection of 13 ancient books called codices, containing over 50 texts. Texts that present a radically different view of early Christian beliefs.
During the early race, man wanted real estate, so he started building shape. Others started to fill away, though they started killing snake. Those of the worldly faith found themselves in pearly gates. Left his seat as girl inflates. Blessed he who elevates. Set the tea and meditate. Rain splash off of the stained glass. Medieval cathedrals that still stand in Spain and France. Skeleton figures how many diamonds his ring had. The courts had green grass. The hawks took spring baths. Across where kings clashed, they fought for the queen's hand. A masterpiece done by priests. Refractory property so unique. Sister goes Sophia in her holy seat. Her feet Alistair Crowley sleeps. It's where Kiss and Bon Jovi meet. The Greek, the beast, the owl covered in rosaries. Prophetess, potions, and poetry. But blacks is Reba Simha. The lion called Simba. When rhyming, I'm the Templar. The troubadour, make music for the temper. The rooster call from roof to floor. The eyes in the center. The truth is all manly hall. What lies within the picture. The fruit don't fall. Nuclear war that ties within the scriptures. The zodiac sign of Hitler. More than one Jack the Ripper. More than one Shakespeare. For some of it take years. The Nag Hammadi God body that practice motionless karate. The dragon on my Vatican Armani. Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi. Craft I'm in, I'm mastering. The carpentry, the scaffolding. Corian stones to cornerstones. When I grab the pen, I fall in my zone and reach the African. Plastered in the walls of Rome, the priest is practicing. The royals on the doors of the dome, pads and fabric skin. On the mountain surrounded by columns, writing my album. All alone like a minute of solemn, solving my problems. Gothic sanctuaries, a wall of St. Mary's. The Gospel of John is scary. Lately I've been drinking heavy, reading Psalms with nervous palms. Open the vote, grab my sword and my coat of arms. Murder I wrote. Nag Hammadi,
I hear spirits I'm aware when they whisper. Books and steps climbing up my stairs in the mirror. Zodiac webs, but the air in a twister.
The Nag Hammadi
God body rare for the listener. Yo, Nag Hammadi, Nadi Maki crusade. Good Lord, hook saw chopping with the moon blade. 10 planets in my space, jamming when the tunes played from sampling the groove late. Acoustics, he's not in his body, but after all, he asked the all, so he's not in his body. Nag Hammadi, disagree, but really, could've Nag Hammadi. Nag Hammadi's body, Zaka Karma, Hama robbery. Nagasaki door train, Nazi trolley, stopped his folly. I'm a turbulence and tears were told by how to spot me. Never poke a dot on a leopard, the grand menagerie. Right before they make their next move, they say the planets watch me, follow me forever. When the camera shot me, Mandelbrot me, cosmic egg, Nag exotic beaches in the sand in Bali. Woke up a giant, thought the trees upon the land were broccoli. Y'all don't understand it probably. Kick inside the gown of luxury, never reached the ground, the top and see me. And they found the mock, they found the copy, sound karate. I speaking, I found the cocky on the clock, I knew them doom. Mask up underground Gaddafi, ancient astronaut from Mali. Yes, I'm high, but not on Mali. Exercise, Pilates, Dottie, cars with wands. Manuscripts, but couldn't hold the manuscripts of Marvel Khan. Shalawam, Electromagnetic carbon. Painted me in dark bronze, apocryphon of car. Hypostasis of the archon. Delete computer cookies out the language to the jargon. Avians, Acadians, praying in the Sargon. Start calm, then it got crazy up in stark calm. Intelligence that blew their brains, they say I was a smart bomb. Creation, yo, extra helio, made out of nothing. Society is fake, it's a great amount of bluffing. Ancient books looking like they just came out the oven. Yes, it is Mars and Vegas, living water, mystic order. Yahweh ain't as cold as his, Nag Hammadi cold as his. Lamb upon the codices, the solar bridge exploded lids. I showed the kids to stand on top of lotuses. Bible or eyeball, lyrics in the sky wall. Miracles inside pour by ministry. See men as trees, my enemies see in them easy. Right with venom, ink was hissing, writing still, leaving books burning like the Inquisition. Never ask forgiveness, astrophysics, back to business. Globe models hanging on my balls, call it sacrilegious.
That tells a completely different version of a story you thought you knew by heart. These manuscripts were hidden for a reason. In the end, Nag Hammadi's texts aren't just relics. They're a bombshell on traditional teachings, showing us just how diverse and dynamic early Christian thought was.
It's got to be the greatest collaborations of minds assembled Okay. Shout out to Lyrical Leviathan and DBL Posse and all of the fam and the affiliates. He said ancient future earlier. And he's telling his pantheon through a myriad of means, transmedia storytelling, right? So through music, through comics, through different variations, we are looking at the keys to immortality. Zodiac and the royal priesthood are giving us keys to immortality and demonstrating the ability to live beyond the realm of physicality and how to exist forever. You exist forever. It's showing you one of the greatest means of how you exist in immortality. So if you exist forever, if you will be around forever, how are you going to be around? What do you want associated with you forever? You hear me say this often. Some of the things you write, some of the things you say, some of the things that you do, some of the things that you think will be associated with you forever. So think about your thoughts. Walking man, thoughts expand. Think about what you write. Those books that you write about your walking life. Think about that. Think about that forever. Do you want your future generations, when they bring up your name, to bring up something that they found that was distasteful, that was dishonorable, or something that was honorable that will empower them to continue to operate honorably? Or they might use your dishonor as a justification for their dishonor. So what do you want associated with your name? What do you want associated with your walking life? Who knows better your trek and your journey than you? So your stories are important. That's another thing you hear me say often. Your story is important. Your life is important. Your presence here in the physical world is important. You're not here haphazardly. You're not here by mistake. You did ask to come here. You are here on assignment. Fulfill your destiny. And in the process of fulfilling your destiny, find the greatest and most easiest means available for you to tell your story. Others will come after and look at your blueprint. They'll learn from you as you learn from others that we call his story or her story or our story. Tell your story in the best way you know how. If you write it, you sing it, you dance it, you play an instrument, you create buildings, whatever you do, and you do well, whatever one of those gifts, because you have a multitude of gifts in you, any one of those gifts you can utilize to change the world. Not only your personal world, the things in your circumference or your cipher, but the entire world will be different, will be changed by your existence, by your story. So that's the thing that's of most importance, that you find your reason for existence and you live out that purpose. That becomes a part of your story. Shout out to Purpose. tragic allies. So these lyrical codices that they were pulling out of the oven, that are coming from the mind, that are coming from the heart, are there. And we take it to the heart, and we take it to the mind, and we internalize it. The Nag Hammadi God body. So these cosmic codices are our astrological lineages that transcend time and space, that are ancestral lineages that transcend time and space, that are our celestial lineages that transcend time and space. This is a place that deserves credence and honor, but it's not the end. It is a doorway to another beginning, through immortality. So, wear more Killah Priest, play more Killah Priest, drink more tequila Priest. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your love. Like I said, my born day is on Monday, the 2nd of June. Be out virtually somewhere doing some sort of celebration. And next Wind Down Wednesday is the born day of Solo Gems. Okay, so we'll be in the building over here celebrating, elevating, and turning up. All right. So I'm going to do my duty at this time and play more Killah Priest. Oh, and the craft will be live tomorrow. Make sure I come through. Song promotion segment. Shout out to AD, aka Architect D, aka Dizzle. Be in the building, holding up the rocket right here. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
Like vultures over kings, left their skull and bones expressed with screams. Naked, wet in streams, cold water running, body sunken. Each finger a row of golden rings. Each tell their moments with heroic genes. It's detailed perfectly, encrypt in codes on beams like mercury. Written on scrolls unseen, only the worthy see. Missing head rolls from guillotines and perjury. Body release the soul in surgery. The mirror is clean before it cracks. Killah is back at the murder scene, the cleanest tracks. At the darkest hour of the night, glides on the wings of bats. Like a black avenger called the crow above a phoenix back. Swirling ravens around my fountain pen. There's all my written text. Unforgiven death, counted sin? If so, I write this epistle, holding the crystal, trying to counter them. With rhymes I'm balancing, and the mind is challenging. And all my writing books that lightning pushed, open with burning pages, minister from sermons from ages. A lot remain hermits nameless, hip-hop ordained minister of greatness. Came in the game from a spaceship, my merkable message. Wordsmith on records, magic, check it. It's like I'm related to the inventor of Tetris. It's weird, cause as my name slowly go down in the pages of history, the book disappears. My bars then reappear in shapes that's great. From the top, then slowly drop. It's reoccurring as ghostly hip-hop. I'm the phantom. Hold your attention for ransom. In my father's house, there's many mansions. Each room a bar, lounge, and expanded. A black K stretched next to a Celtic P. The crest etched upon my eldry. Red rosaries, holy beads, they read. I wrote a creed for the dead, the ghosts of the elderly. Try to put a hex or spell on me. Ropes around the necks fell from trees. Open the doors of the cellars, make you dwell in hell for centuries. As the Middle Age seal reveals the MCKP, an executioner, with a letter from Lucifer. The dreads go booyaka from Memphis to Utica. I'm really that vulgar, as I read from the stilly of the vultures. I'm hip-hop, I'm the city and the culture. Watch, I play chess upon the universe. Map first, flat earth, pull up my chair. I use the borough of Queens as my queen. Protect Brooklyn as king. They call check as I place Manhattan on the Madison Square. Then wait calm, you can't touch the Bronx. You in check, you got a problem, try to lift up Harlem. He touched Strong Island next. I start smiling, that's checkmate, Staten Island. 32 pieces from my Charlene set. Who went next? I shuffle tectonic plates like it's a deck. Any concept, my sword of plead with all flesh. It's killer priest, the war vet. The goat of Psalms, coat of arms, and medals on my broad chest. Othello and shove devils into a vortex. Eyes yellow like the great owl. As my mic appears from out of gray clouds, my verse heard in wave sounds and frequencies of high pitches. Hide in hieroglyphics, the lyrics is aged now. A sage found. How do I stay bound? Young with a face frown. I'm older with grace. On my shoulders go plates. I went from headaches, but now on my head is where they place crowns. Caution when walking on my stage with your sacred grounds.
Anywhere our feet touch become sacred grounds. See us walking over clouds wearing flaming crowns. If you ain't speaking with love, it's just a waste of sound. Sacred ground, laid it down, builders of the ancient mounds. Anywhere our feet touch become sacred ground. See us walking over clouds wearing flaming crowns. If you ain't speaking with love, it's just a waste of sound. Sacred ground, laid it down, builders of the ancient mounds. Lips of death kissed me and it died right before me. See, they say the Grim Reaper took his eyes when he saw me free. They need me like breath, though they cried and ignored me. So ironic, knew I was the most high as a shorty. Trees tried to record me in their rings, years of extra Lakers. Why y'all don't see that every tree's a stack of record players? Nectar mayor, nexus maker, killers on our best behavior. They say your next friend could also be your next betrayer. Magic trick, 3 eyes that saw me in half. I'm illustrating, brigand, raven, spoken, taught me the math. Now it's all I see, thought I did. A seraphim that shared honeydew, melanin with the Z hive that's swarming me. They rhyme and it's boring me to dime. Be the glory, he's Allah's favorite suit. I arrived when he wore me, God. Body in the cleaners, had a stellium in Virgo. Kid adrenochrome sippers, melatonin into Merlot. Flying over New Jebu, I saw a giant priest rhyming on beats in a circle playing chess with all the boroughs. I said I got next, sat on Barican, dropping words, snow like ashes. Serapis, Caraxes, we played some worlds ago. I reached my jersey pieces from Monopoly and AC. Computer hacking saxophone, calling music to play me. To learn your pattern, son, your KP. Where should I move my next? Word horse, jumpkin' JC, or is that move smart? I sparked the LEO with ideas to build a new arc. To move his nights falling, cause his curtains made the room dark. I'm serving tons of blows that level the playing field. From owners to renting, the kingdom will never kneel. From Brooklyn to Guillotine neck, protect your shoulder mug. Upon his head he wore a T-set. I spit a soldier's blood, the mad Maga hand of the dagger is still liquid. Watch it on cam, did in slow motion, it's still missing. The Knights of Elves cut off their legs and still kick the globe back to the subconscious mind where it existed. Bishop coming at an angle but witty, maybe he missed it. I spot the rook coming trying to take the Queen Elizabeth. Swept the pieces off the glass roof, watch her slow breaking ozone layers. Once connected to the turbo deep, they trying to figure out how I cut them with a steel sword. And though I danced across the ceiling, they was still floored. Skilled at war, though I became human, I was still the Lord. Right until my name became huger than a billboard. I almost cracked the firmament, yeah, with just the surface below. While I was in the sky, breakdancing as the earth was rotating in the circle, I created an inferno. My breath across the glass wrote my name into the words glow. Head spinning on the ceiling like iguanas, it's the lizard ill. Nothing ever happened if it's all a dream, it isn't real. Pictures in your image real, lightning that I get to wheel. Grip the wheel, whip a pill, bananas when I drove off. Grasping with the spoke speak, magic on the throne seat. I'm faster like I don't eat, magic when I souls cross. Say the future limits you, traveling with no peak. Hide and seek the time I sneak back again, but don't peek. I saw myself counting on the map again, a stone chic. For many kings vanish, cause their character is so weak. Collab with God until we slay the dragon on its own beat. Out the lid, on this pot they battling with no heat. Without my hands I caught a glimpse, then married it with cold feet. I walked on thin ice and melted half until there's no sheet. The Matrix figure skater, won it battling your whole fleet. The greatest figure skater, to the math magician, don't cheat. But what if no one can see us? No squares to hold and keep us. No board and no chess box, just astronosis Jesus. We just played each other's music, it controls the pieces. Humans on the sidewalk, squares, planet psychokinesis. Every move connects fate, and empty heads and neck weight. Santos and priests in Australia, we talk to plant ghosts. Creating
like money together. Now that's a checkmate.
Made the devil eat his heart out from off his breastplate.
The smoke rise, they ghosts fly, they both died. They throat tied on the goat hide. Sacrifice them all to wall. Rain fall, while tears pour. My ears sore, pagans don't hear law. Theodore, the old man stumbled from smearing off. Weird cough, appeared lost, brushing his beard off. His lady riffing from a distance, wishing he cared more. Tobacco called bear claw, the back of his hair gone. I'm writing in rare form, throw light in the spear storms like a titan with hair blonde, or Viking in gear bronze. My mic like a magic wand, daggers in palm, Pythagoras psalms. The master is calm, relax, moving his palm near a pond. Puffing the bomb, cuts in my arm, strong, a couple of charms, a couple oolong. We smooth when we crush a new song. Purpose, we write verses to his curtains, we gone. Abraxas, Revis, believe it. If I can see it, I'll achieve it. The semis for the dinner when I eat it. The thrones is only two-seated, and you ain't Mike Jack, so beat it. You're like Drac, anemic. Salute, empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am. The hypothesis of Herodotus, gods and goddesses, the Eden garden to the apocalypse. Religion and politics, arguments between fools and true scholarship. Nowadays, everybody's a narcissist. Schools are targeted, no jewels, names anonymous. Everybody's making claims and say it's consciousness. Land hold to Egypt, hieroglyphics, Bible scriptures, Apocrypha, and the Josephus. The book of Enoch of those who pushed it to knock, and the scrolls of Jesus. Masons things told in secret. The only ones that wear the red robes can keep it. Next to King Solomon, the widow's son, and the deacon. Just speaking, and my flow chastise demons. Give them bad vibes while teaching. 12 from every black tribe is leading, along with 12 rabbis and magi's were leaving. This fiery hell breaking the spells of the heathens. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am.
I am the God inside the sun, I'm Aries, son of Mary's. Summon air, he's still on top with none compare me. One of one with none compare me. You won't like me when I'm angry. Turns begin to someone scary, sun canary, sunken berry. What a query from Tamari, rambling out the data. For the universe, the sun declared me. Taurus, ox, and Taurus socks. Sleepwalking, I fought a fox who told me how to walk through blocks. Torbacuno, daughter, knock, apocrypha, the laws of Doc. Pentateuch, Pentateuch. I can cause the pen to talk. My body gives it Morris Moss looking through the bullseye. I can see the aura watch, but the all is not. calendars and tortoise tops. Gemini outthought the clocks. Listen hard to thoughts of rocks. Hitman, lyrical bartender that called the shots of everything they fought to stop. Sympathy unorthodox, picking up the signal from the sigils and the water drops. Making calls all wars to stop. New Neo, I'm Bruce Leo, Roy John of Architect 9, need the cathedral. How you hypnotize all of the mind readers is reading you. Most High, who made me up from lies that's completely true. Virgos, fur coats, fashioned from the ether zoo. Magic man from deep Peru. Theta Gamma, ancient grammar, placed in amber nail him with the Abraham Arabi. Medusa's head turned my hard drive to something floppy. One look I nutted submit, and that seems mint. Typically Illuminati, hit the L like you in hockey. Mr. Superman, Asasi, Planet Rocky, ran with Shakti. Every verse an ace, never seen me dip the new Versace. Birthday suit and title wear from fashion in the human body. Deeper Liberace weight decisions on the dragon scales, imagine it. I am a jinn, either mage, am I the ancient book of rhymes? I took my time, no I don't know if I am aging. Zodiac, my skin broke the spikes inside the Iron Maiden. I'm great, I am at this. Punch it like I am a fist for one, so I am you. Let me show how I outran a jet. That I am you lit. I am legend, I in heaven. Follow all the planet steps. Knowledge you can't handle.
Thoughts of force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham.
I am.
Thoughts of force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham.
I am.
On the universe sonship, the impact of the holy ones hit mass extinction, disappearance of the veranda decks, wing discs, the ascended masters. In these chapters, the headquarter heavens, endless disasters. Dinosaurs disappeared, the great engineers of the near and distant spheres. Occupying Zion, we're always here. The ships are gone, the hallways clear. Water systems, organisms, the broad day appears. Alternation of the rocks as the temperature on the earth decreases. The sea level drops, pool begins to cool. Gases releases. The constellation daddies lift up my eye like a Grammy. Put away in scale, an animal, woman, arachnid, and a fish to form the family. Now call a zodiac, and each one shows on the flowing tracks. My flowing rap, it's like you unfold the map. It's freedom when I write, free those who's trapped. It's extra pages in my Vedic papers, extra rooms. You see the nature, forest of the happy ever after. Here and after, within my tears there's laughter. I wanna know, wanna flow. Vedic room, open up the door. Extra room, unmasked devils in plain sight. Religion, tunnel vision, I see the train light. Women, give us children, we have gained life. Mysticism, I spit snowstorms to a flaming mic. Thus spoke Zarathustra, Pisces, Barracudas, high priest and his cherub rulers. With his wifey, somewhere in Sumer. Amongst goats, then I broke the fortune cookie that I shared with Buddha. He poured me tea, we talked with geese, I called them B. This was ancient times when LA and New York was trees. Instinct animals, where the woods and bushes are. This forest is now Hollywood Boulevard. We would laugh and joke as travelers. From here I see Detroit, to my left I see Africa. Muslim, Jew to a Christian, I'm Utum the Bishtum. I came to tell the truth to the children. I flip a nigga wearing a fedora hat, a smoke down cigarette, a large peacoat, a vintage set. I paid a dime for the papers and got a quarterback. Y'all all crossed over, I just crossed over rap. My Vedic vape room keys unlock the doors to the mystery room. Starry night, silvery moon. The bars I write are memories from wounds, walls with baboons.
I was really hoping that you would pick up because I miss you a lot.
They crave attention and power, control over your soul. Employing manipulating tactics to sway my perception. I'm supposed to be the protection, you supposed to be the essence. Your delusions have zero impact on my thoughts. For your amusement, call me a weirdo empath, it's all my fault. Yes, I was strong as the cast iron, but you came with the gaslighting. I saw the flaws in your cracked diamonds. I took a pause cause you lack guidance. All the lies, exaggerations, and inadequacies. We were Adam and Eve. Now you're just a dragon in me. So you have it out seeds. Vape room keys. I'm leaving this room. Incapability. Can't escape the trilogy. It's the Killah P. R-I-E-S-T. E-S-P-O-O-V-E. Another body experience. Now we in godly excellence. Do you listen to Sade? Or do you listen to what the God say? She said she listens to Yahweh. I said, do you listen to Sade? Or do you listen to what the God say? She said she listens to Yahweh. Back in the days and not nowadays. And the boundness. I'm twirling through rings of fire, my wings are tired, the king attire, and dream attire. Eyes of a tiger, the supreme rider. King Ashurbanipal upon the wall, with two angels holding dragons on the wall. Standing in castles with sunken floors, holding tarots like they were doors to paranormal dimensions. Above there's thunderstorms, 1,000 fingers, 100 palms I write with. On the page covered with sage, and my mind is of a psychic. I go to sleep today and wake up in yesterday, then daydream to rewind it. What fellowship does clay has to a diamond? The bounty hunter through cloudy summers for the William Cowdy brothers. I kick in the doors looking for the Satan lovers, and I have cases on others. Kill a priest, kill the beast. The 7 seal release, feel the heat.
War is still raging inside of me.
The greatest MC.
Still feel the chill.
My words make you feel.
I reveal my shame to you.
Angels too.
I wear it.
Wake up, wake up. 100,000 years, Jacob. 100,000 years, pyramids. And ziggurats in Mesopotamia. Black figures on the wall. Back when they written out the law. Mathematics and science. Open up your mind to explore. Killah Priest. Violent watts of hip-hop. Vintage like wine, you pop a twist top. Pour, explore the thrift shop. It's pure, I'm a ball of fizz knock. On the desk doing reader subjects, rhyming to myself like I was obsessed. Now when I rhyme, the demons protest, cause I kept that king with an English old text. Reading Vape Room Saga. Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. And above was a firmament. Below, I'm the journalist. Divided the waters, I'm the reporter. Even in the morning, the tides were in order. Tribes on borders, call the dry land earth. While the stars in the sky describe the Taurus. Made man from the dirt, woman get birth. God alive in all of us. Killah Priest, Extra Room, Vedic Saga Part 2, unreleased. Up north wanna hate on me, ride down to the 803, where my cousin's a straight OG. Straight pimpin's a scary world, dripping with Jerry curls. In the 80s had every girl, all his ladies had Coco Chanel. Back to dope, sniff coke off his nails. You back at home, place the dope on the scales. Ask my cousin, priest some smoke, make sure you roll it well. I said that's okay, I do not smoke. I just came here to see my folk and lay low for a week or so. This bag is from my peoples, yo. Went down in the 803, gotta stay low key. When nobody knows me, old lady knows it, gotta move slowly. The girl got a hold of that fentanyl, and that Adderall had a spit on the walls. Fish and grits in the morning, buck tooth, head twisting long. Where you come from, you sound funny. Do your peoples got some money? We don't do that fancy talking. I get antsy, I start coughing. God of the low, beware who you entertain. Man, you different, man. My cognitive behavior, practice at the bar with a stranger. Black fist, God entertainer. Boss said, why you bother the brother? My eyes turned colors, canine teeth got longer, ears got pointy, hair turned slick and shiny. Grimy took my gun out the Bible, shaped like a crucifix. Louis on the kick, start shooting, anything moving, hit. No mirror, no garlic, garlic. Graveyard darkness, devil with his carcass. Up in the 803, it got scary. So who comes pulling up? My uncle. Oversized clothing, vibrant colors. One hand on the wheel to Egyptian lover. Popped open the door, get in. Is this by Hunter? Video game, at least 3 men. Don't tell him that he old or new school, true school. Then he plays some Jets and the cassette. Up next, I got some Wham and some YouTube. You seem upset, I'm like, yep. Like damn, staring through his rear view. Step on the gas, go fast, so I don't have to kill you. I don't want to look back to the future. See, I got these powers. Explain it to him about an hour. If I get mad, I'll devour. It first happened Testing at the lab with some powder. I turned horror into the ink of a marker. It gets darker. He started to laugh. Well, alright, it's like Teen Wolf. A movie screen or a book. My eyes turned green as he looked. Then he screamed and shook. See, I'm the weird science. No fear of dying. Fierce as a lion. When you come near the Viking, to hear what I'm writing. I'm sincere. It's not a rainbow appearing as lightning. You wild, nephew. This is what I'm talking about, nephew. Cause I'm down, this word is bond. My distress is triggered in the mirror. I'm trying to figure, could I help the killer? The brain fog becomes clearer. Vedic vape room, put your favorite rappers on the plate. I'll consume, then wash them down with some crushed grapes. Why the flush face? Have you ate? Did you take mushrooms? Bodies floating down the lake. For heaven's sakes, he spake beneath the good luck moon. Practical tools to improve your bad mental moods. Here's lentil stew. I'm passing the knowledge like food. I'll leave you this jewels. First there's some rules. Validation is while your palates are tasting. Before you get to eating, can you balance the plates then? Grab the salad and put some olives and grace in. Then add some knowledge. I'm out of the spaceship. I'm the werewolf barefoot, howling at the moon, prowling around the gloom, growling for some food. Fresh meat, bird flesh on my teeth. Then I eat the beak. Now I'm looking for the human MC. He's underground. The archaeologist said his tomb is empty. Killer priest crucifix, Lucifer sits, pair of eyes in his uterus. Dear God, why am I used to this? Lunatic, with the pen when I'm using it. Stir the Virgin Mary. When I write, sacrifice the entire herd till your arms are heavy, palms are sweaty. Then read the book of Psalms deadly. Vedic vape room, Aquarius moon. I bribe the brides, hand me his insides. Now where do you bury the groom? Walls crumble, we all jungle. There's a mystic moon, here's a bowl full of tea. The oolong owl, jasmine jackal hair. This one's rare, and it's free, see? I just want you. Brother Glow is on you, brother Glow is on you. Mother, I just want you, mother, I just want you. Mother, I just want you. Brother Glow is on you. Vape room, planets align, greatest case too. Prove who can rhyme, build on stories, allegories. The walls open up, the palace before me. So I walk in, the floor lights up, the hall lights up. Hit a roaring tigers, great and small ciphers. The more I walk, the more the doors get brighter. Falling in this darkness, calling for the honest. This time all the gods said we taking off the harness. I'ma turn Zeus loose. Just let priests rap and let unknown produce. Got celestial gram coming, the Podcraft. Peace to all the Mars in the God class. Star gas.
Kiss the ring, and I'll spare the life.
Born natives in the flesh with their hidden wings. I'm talking angles that connect, it's a different thing. We the royal priesthood, we the wizard kings.
The most anticipated.
Kiss the ring.
Scream the name out for the priest. Supreme, all male, kiss the ring.
We the royal priesthood, we the wizard kings.
Smacking seas, rock the screen, your majesty.
She's not a raven, not a dove, and not a pelican. The immortalized phoenix, universal element. The throne holder with the flow that's most eloquent. Bringing the rebellion, the mothership propelling it. I'm nicer than they ever fathomed every time I'm doing this. My energy is like slicing an atom to its nucleus. Interstellar, surpass astronomical. That's why my aura got a sparkle like a diamond do. Soaring through the sky, but I was born underground. Blood on the temple from the thorns in the crown. The seventh seal will open when the horn makes a sound. No time to mourn, you was born not to stick around. So start reflecting and atoning. I recollect the sectors I was known in, even long before the Greco-Roman. Time to bow and kiss the ring, you will respect the chosen. I won the battle before I select my next opponent. 6 million ways to die, they lied to the masses, but they never taught you how to rise about the ashes. My intuition say we trapped inside a simulation, so I'm here to bring demolition to imitations. I dispel the pressure when I held the scepter, the luminescent, iridescent solar cell receptor. I rebelled and I refused to sell the elder treasure. Time to unify, rebel against the hell forever. Every word in the verse, you know it is Phoenix. Give the people rebirth like I'm growing a fetus. Say the truth with my chest like showing my cleavage. The mothership kiss the ring, cause we the ring leaders.
Multitasking through the multiverse, immersed in the energy that broke the curse. In a thirst for higher works, dispersed out your speaker box like Peter Tosh. Days balance equal vernal equinox, high voltage, frequent shocks, outward charged particles. Flares bring more color than carnivals, editorials, rhymes and written articles. Alkaline, my arsenal, I'm Canis Media, others are marginal. Fez, brilliant red like a cardinal. Flourishing with other Moorish kings, kiss the rings, mystic strings, beyond intellect, holistic beings, ecclesiastic, legendary like Atlantis. Reminded of divine protection, seeing the praying mantis. King Sharif on my throne, caliphate in the east. My influence increased from Greece to Mozambique. Crown jewel, laying new ground rules. Evil Carre, my mind sparred in renowned schools. No parlay, gracious, build an oasis. Spacious, greatness, entire priesthood, traveling spaceships. Connect with lawmakers, Mahatmas, scholarly, those who know the truth about the Barbary. God's professor, private sector, peep the architecture. Tartarian, so on the microphone, a barbarian. Islam, Al Day and Bay. If we Voltron clans, we'll run circles round Satan like the Photon Band.
Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. The black and brown came from the ground and filled the sun of the magma. I rap profound as a lounge so kneel in front of your master. From merry-go-rounds to burial grounds, I killed every one of you rappers. With my skills I can heal, but my tongue is disaster. The age seal is revealed in none of the chapters. Burn them on cheap wood, it's royal priesthood. There's cavities and casualties wherever we stood. When I black out and see the bats route, I say things that make the cats crouch. Wings from my back sprout, serpents coil, anoint the head with virgin oil. Drip with olives, we sit in garments and spit astrologic. Regardless, we goddess and goddesses, and thick as the dip with the garlic. But hard as the chip, that's smart, that's trick knowledge. Nah, we kick knowledge while eating salad in a big palace. The roof open and the sky show a rich harvest. The Bitterman man, the black who a thick target.
Hey, yo, musically I'm married to the group that's a wedding band. Cycle Jordan rings like Thanos with the heavy hand. The ringleader, the electric lamb. I'm staring at the rings like a breast exam. I'm peering up the next slide. Cycle at the drug ring, spirals in the dust ring. I made a campfire with the circle around the sun spring. I see rings in the flowers when the blossoms bloom. Knock the onion rings out of supersonic boom. That's two holes in the middle of the VM. I seen rings in the middle of the tree limbs, clothed in the gospel, the noble, apostle. I'm moving more circles than the O's in Morocco. My blow made the rocks blow. Killing sex traffickers, my flow freed the kids in the ring. From death massacre, priesthood, vampire hunters, arrest Dracula. Earth stage, I rock, never left in the ground, but smoke till I'm so high up that heaven is down. 12 angels quickly circle me wherever I'm found. Morris headband leader, that's a heraldry crown. Lion, no sort of omens, bodies lammed in the floor. Purple rings of cerebellum, see who answers the door. As it quickly throws, they bang the snow rings like the sound of sleeping, playing ring toss with my chakras over mountain peaks. Now to the owl chief, ornaments around the reef, alkali, riding on the decibels around the streets. Brainstorm will gather the star charters as every knee bends, kiss the rings of the Zod father. The Don Zada, in a sense, like the Nag Champa, knowledge tromper, Kaharaja, squash him like a Kalabasa, Kali Lama, Dalai Lama lamp, Muhammad Ali Baba, uncontrolled voters. They all bow down when we stood. Big flag, zigzag, zodiac, killer priesthood. Killer priesthood.
Scream the name out, royal breeze. Leave the blood spilling in the street. King, supreme, all ill, kiss the ring. Scream the name out, royal breeze.